Welcome back to Wake the Red Death, a Midgehheim campaign using the Fabula Ultima system. I'm your host, Dracula von Dracula, and here our friends are in the town of... We're not doing a narrator for this, I forgot. So we're in the town of Minervans,
You did not
and our
forget it.
heroes...
Was
and
an
our
error that
heroes...
could help to address a recent Midgehheim small retcon, but
We're in the, yeah, we should mention that. We were talking over in the Midgehheim in the Monster Writers Guild, where I talk with some people about the Midgehheim stuff and develop it. We were talking about the timeline and where things went, and then I realized that Wake of the Red Death could be moved up, which is arguably better for a realistic timescale of things. So the campaign's now more like 300 or so years after Wizard School Mysteries rather than 1,000, which is honestly a bit less ridiculous and changes absolutely fuck all, except for the fact that the timeline makes slightly more sense. So, the only thing that would have to be retconned is that if this was a published work and not a first draft, as all TTRPGs are, we'd have to change some dialogue here and there. Minor change, no one should be mad about it, especially not you, Jim. I'm fairly certain there's no one in our audience actually named Jim, so this joke will land, but if it doesn't, I apologize, Jim, you're valued. With all that said, our group got to Minervans, and they found out that it was a peaceful, idyllic paradise.
with racism.
With lots of racism and classism. Problems. Chimeras were treated as second-class citizen. Women weren't allowed to hold the highest positions of power. There's a chimera baiting tournament going on, which is basically like if all the edgy dark boy takes on Pokemon were true. Oh no, bad times, bad vibes. But that's okay, because we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix all of these social problems.
Janice had the weird realization of, oh wow, there's sexism here. I was technically a part of it, but I am now also sort of a victim of it.
Yeah.
Technically, you're victim of it both ways.
I understand women's suffrage now, for I am now a suffering woman.
Exactly.
Sort of.
Yeah. So, to remind us of our dangling plot participles, this time, you met Eddie, a blind guy, and, Layla Kato, a sphinx, who was not particularly wise, but seemed to believe that she was very gifted with riddles. You met Beatrice, Jonas's sister, and you also met the high philosopher Milan, who seemed a bit pompous. Laika joined Virgil in confronting Red and Rabid, and found that there might be a bit more of a personal connection with this demon possessing a criminal's corpse that Laika wasn't expecting. Good old Alex read up on the Charmills from a very biased Mediterranean perspective. Everyone sort of got together and realized that what they might have to do is enter this chimera baiting tournament. And for those who weren't here last time, chimera baiting is like bear baiting, the real-life medieval sport where they would put a rope around a bear, tie the rope to a pole, and then have people come out with weapons and try and kill the bear before it kills them. In chimera baiting, you do that, but you also create a chimera specifically to be super deadly and vicious while doing it. It's ethical and humane.
Doubt.
By which you mean none of those things.
Yes.
Well then.
Well,
So we're gonna have to, potentially enter this chimera baiting tournament either as the chimera or as a fighter of a chimera or both.
Yeah.
Beatrice gave you guys access to the Temple of Minerva. Oh, to the university's stores of creatures is what I meant. You guys have access to one very powerful spell component from your behemoth. And also the High Philosopher wants to talk with Janice, so that's fun.
This is fine. This is fine.
We should let Janice iron that out first.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciated. Guess I'm going to go talk to the High Philosopher.
You want his job, you gotta go talk to him. His job and his wife.
Okay, I don't want his wife.
Yet.
He probably doesn't even have a wife.
Yeah, I hate women, so I don't even want to date a woman.
Like a true ancient Greek.
Yeah, we are skewering that part of ancient Greece. You love Egypt, are gay because you love men. We're gay because we hate women. We're not the same.
Not the
Skewering
same.
that ancient Greece trend in particular.
Yeah, we're in Athens. All right. But yeah, where is everybody at this exact point of time?
I think you all had actually gathered in Beatrice's
we were
room
all
in the
together.
university.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes.
This is the powwow, as we were talking Janice out of entering themselves.
Right. So, and the High Philosopher wants to speak with you.
Which is, I guess, what I'm getting ready to go do.
You think he? You think he's gonna care if you have extra tag-alongs?
Do you want to tag along, or do you think it'd be more beneficial if you started to getting things ready?
Personally, I do have some things in plan.
Yeah, then I'd say if you have things in your back pocket you need to get done, this is a good time for you to get doing them. Because he's going to be pretty busy, at least for a little bit, with Janice.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do things where he's occupied.
Well then, in character voice.
Yes.
Well, I'd hate to have you go alone, but he may not, he may wish to speak to you alone. He may not allow us to come along, and if we're going to be participating in this tournament and we're going to continue traveling on the road, I think my time would be best spent learning how to protect myself. I'm going to visit the academy. I hope that's all right.
No, that's fine. I understand. I don't know if he'd want the rest of you there. I'm just not exactly looking forward to this. But if I want to get things to change, I need to get involved.
Yeah.
Alright.
Leica, meanwhile, is stewing and not sure how to. Leica has a lot on mind right now.
Yeah, is Leica still dealing with the demon thing?
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
So, is uncharacteristically usually Geico's usually gung ho about going to go do things. So
Yeah, you do get a side eye from Janice, but she doesn't. They don't.
Broody Leica is not something that's common.
You get a side eye what's up with you? But
I guess
Janice has a lot of things on her mind at the moment.
I was say asterisk. Actually, broody Leica is not very common.
Yeah,
Quote unquote
Yeah, actually,
hashtag.
Broody.
I say hashtag broody Leica is just her mood.
Yeah.
There's
Sorry.
a difference between theatrically brooding Leica and actually brooding Leica.
Mm-hmm.
Because theatrically brooding Leica can't hide the fact that she's actually really enthusiastic about the situation she's brooding about.
And a dork.
Yeah, when you're actually brooding, I am sure the little imp on your shoulder who narrates your life gets quiet.
Yep.
Just like how the forest gets quiet when there's a predator about.
Wow.
I mean, would any imp want to piss off a Campion?
No.
No.
Depends on the imp.
That's a good point.
It depends on the Campion. The imp could just bully them.
Imps can be
Depends
pretty
on the imp. Depends on the Campion.
foolhardy. And Cambions can be pretty annoying.
Like certain theater kids.
You just described Cora and his relationship.
What about the rest of you? What are you going to be doing? They're straightening out their clothes, making sure their mask is clean.
If you need assistance, Leica finally speaks up.
Do what? What'd you say?
Leica is offering to go help Alex to go to the Athletic Academy because she's got nothing better to do, and if you want an insight, you can get something from that.
Oh boy! I do love clinking dice!
So insight plus insight, I'm guessing,
Mm-hmm.
for those who want to.
Yeah.
Leica really wants to help. Leica's normal, Alex. Don't see anything wrong with this.
Well,
That's just her general demeanor. She, a brooding individual.
hold on. Where's the insight? There we go.
And of course he buys it at face value. It's like, oh yeah, you're willing to help me? Cool.
Yeah,
Good lord.
You don't trust Leica, so it's like, oh, she's just
Hey.
really broody stuff. Hey, you're the one who has that on your sheet.
I can't remember if that was changed since our last arrest, but
Yeah, no, I guess there is still mistrust on there, yeah.
Yeah. So
Huh.
that works.
I feel like it should be changed by now, though. Good chance.
yep. Yeah, I'm seeing opportunity. Thank you for some valuable insight.
Also, kind you sure as heck need Alex, old boy.
Yeah, I don't know my way around a sword.
The kid tried to hide the boiling emotions under a calm exterior, but they knew inside they were as chewed up as a bone thrown to 3 dogs that liked bones. It's hard to do this when you're actually emotional.
Like 3 dogs.
Wait a minute, 3 dog.
Three dog.
3 dogs!
I haven't actually played that much Fallout 3.
Dog.
See, I thought you were gonna say.
Well,
like,
we are in the land where Cerberus roams.
I was gonna say it's chewed up as a bone thrown in the Cerberus. I thought that's where you're going.
Yes. I was also going there.
Well, at least not a dog.
What's up? Oh, god damn it.
Alright. Well, I'll slip on out to the Warrior Academy then.
Alright. Let's look at the Warrior Academy.
My favorite Greek Mediterranean hero is both of these.
What about Testicles?
No.
He was
Tragically fell off the pier, was eaten by sharks.
he was trying
Not too vulnerable for me.
Yeah, especially during the gelding of Testicles was a grim story even for me.
Good lord.
Warrior Academy. You can train here once per day to gain proficiency with martial weapons of one variety, or proficiency with martial armor, or proficiency with martial shields, but you have to pick. So, if you would like to train with one of these, you may. While you figure that out, Jonas.
Oh boy.
You go to the High Philosopher's office in the Temple of Minerva.
As they approach, like, why do I feel like I'm in trouble?
The door opens of its own accord, and the philosopher smiles warmly between his long, bushy beard and says, "Please, come in."
Indeed, I do. Greetings, High Philosopher.
Greetings, Jonas. So,
No, I think he knew he was calling me by my
The man name.
the name that. Yeah.
yeah, what was the name that you
Oh,
gave?
God damn it.
Yeah.
Theodorus.
Theo something. I think.
Theodorus.
Theodorus
Theodorus
was
sounds good
yeah,
enough.
Theodorus, yeah.
Greetings, Theodorus. Come, have a seat.
They do so.
Some a sadly rare occasion to actually meet budding young minds face to face these days. Most correspondence is done through crystal ball.
Oh god, he's gone full boomer.
Oh no, TT!
These days are always on their phones.
Yeah, I was thinking more in everyone has to meet in Zoom meetings because the plague. But yes, also that.
Can be both.
Fuck.
Back
Damn
in
it.
the day, we got infected like real men.
Yes, I didn't have crystal ball to keep in contact much while I was away.
Well, we can change that. So you are a wizard of obvious great experimentation.
In a manner of speaking. I am experimenting with how I use my abilities.
Yep, that's how a profession goes. So tamed a behemoth, rode into the defense of the great city of Minervans. Obviously, no friend of the Mars militia.
Absolutely not.
What can we do for you? And what can you do for us?
Oh boy. Well, I couldn't help but hear about the Chimera tournament.
Yes, the Chimera baiting tournament. Ah, I was hoping that this would be your interest. We need new ideas if we wish to overcome the trials we've faced as a nation recently. I believe with a wood chimera baiting tournament, we can really showcase some marvelous skills, create some new recipes to build an army of our own with the help of a benefactor whose alliance I hope to secure in full soon.
What benefactor would that be?
He smiles and says, "Well, have you heard of the great city of Emerald Town?
I
An
know.
oasis run by one of the most esteemed wizards of our time, Ozymandias.
Gotcha.
Say, he kept his oasis completely pure. No victims of the plague.
I've
And they say
I've
he's
heard.
developing wonders.
heard that. I intend to find out for myself when I go there.
You have an invitation.
I do.
But I'm very pleased to meet your esteem. I myself have only been able to talk to the man on the crystal ball, but what I've seen, he belongs in Minerva. He is a magnificent mind. Watch that great Minerva of faith. Yes, just the sort of genius male wizard that I would even be happy to give him my crown as High Philosopher should he ask.
Fucking Christ! You're willing to just give that up?
If you had heard half of what I have heard of his city of wonders, you would be willing to do the same.
I
For a
understand.
great favor with Minerva.
So was that part? You cut out at the end.
It would curry great favor with Minerva.
Of course, Minerva's continued survival is very important to me. But just giving away the whole city.
Getting away. No, joining, forming an alliance. Mediterra is on the verge of shattering completely. This empire has stood for thousands of years, since the fall of Atlantis and the time of antiquity when we were reunified by the 10-Year War. The greatest and only true country of Midgahim. No kingdoms squabbling over scraps, but a unified empire. That cannot fall. I don't want to see these Mars militiamen take control of it, and to be frank, I'm not that impressed with the old guard, but Ozymandias, I think he might be onto something, and if we can get in with him early, we can ensure that Minervans is a crown jewel in the Empire, perhaps even greater than the former city of Junotonia and Jupitami.
I've been to Junotonia.
Heard they've suffered it rough. It makes sense, though. Once Jupitami closed its doors, they were left to fend for themselves.
In fact, due to, me and my companions doing, Junotonia is doing much better.
Yeah, excellent. Well, if you get them thriving enough, but they could probably, catch the eye of the great wizard in Emerald.
My God. I'm here trying to, like, be diplomatic, but he's just like, I'm just like, God, could you suck his dick any harder?
I can just,
Maybe he does love men.
I can
Well,
just
yeah.
feel Nora's discomfort miles
Yeah.
away.
Okay,
Maybe the
oh,
High Philosopher does love men and hate women.
yeah.
So,
Well, he does at least one of those things.
take it easy.
I won't confirm or deny the other at this moment.
You know what this means?
Hmm.
He's a trans-inclusionary radical misogynist.
No! He does exist!
If we merge him with J.K. Rowling, will they just both die?
Yes. Or-
Matter and antimatter colliding with each other.
Or rather, let's test that theory.
Maybe we shouldn't test that theory, because I think whatever emerges from that primordial soup would destroy us all.
Look, Janice, I understand. If I was born the other half, I would do the same too. Join the winning team.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do right now. He wants to join the winning team of Ozymandias.
So what you're saying is we don't fuse them like someone did to poor Jonas.
Yes. Someone being magic, wanting to magic, having a fun day.
All right.
I am looking forward to meeting Ozymandias and seeing what he is like in person.
Excellent. There's a thing you could do to help me with that. If you would be willing to participate in the Chimera baiting tournament, I think a person with your know-how and adventuring spirit and tame behemoth at your beck and call could do something really get that wizard to say, Minervans needs to be part of my empire.
I have an idea, actually.
Excellent. Obviously, I can't let you have complete free reign of our components. We need multiple chimeras for a chimera baiting tournament, but I'd be willing to give you 5,000 zenith to help whatever income you...
I'm flattered. I have my...
Tricky.
Oh. Self-sufficient. I like that. I see a bright future for you.
I will... No, they don't want any of his fucking money.
It's bad because there's Leica and Gore over here going, fleece the bitch.
Yeah, I know. But Dad is just like, I'm going to strip you of your fucking title.
Oh, like
You
old
mentioned-
Stephen was much worse.
You mentioned giving the title of a High Philosopher to Ozymandias.
Should he request it? Show interest in the position?
Don't you think
Generally,
that should
the
say...
title of High Philosopher it goes to the greatest minds, generally wizards in Minervans, and the greatest minds of Minervans are, of course, the greatest minds in all of Mediterra. And if he is, as he is by all accounts, the greatest mind there currently is living, then even I have the humility to say that it is a title he has earned. And to give it to him would win great respect in the eyes of Minerva, I think.
I hear you. I do not disagree. But do you not think that it should not be someone who has actually learned in Minervans?
Well, he shifts in his seat. Obviously, I think I was skeptical, if we must admit, when I first heard of this chap. For he attended one of those wizard schools from outside of Mediterra, the one they always talk about, the Am or whatever, and that gave me some doubts. For how could he truly become the best of the best if he studied with, let's be frank, the country bumpkins of the lesser countries? You know, the teachers of the Am are not all entirely Mediterranean. There are Bretonch people. They even let Ruslovakians teach there. You know how foolish and simple they are. But I had heard that he learned some things, that some perhaps obscure arcane secrets that we had not managed to get, perhaps even from Ruslovac, because gods know we haven't been able to thoroughly conquer that country enough to plunder its secrets, but we will someday. We will someday.
Is it
And
not
in the process,
wiser?
he's broadened his mind.
Is it not wiser to make allyship and not war?
He looks at you disbelieving and says, huh, "Oh, I see. You're doing one of those philosophy questions. War, is it actually what Athena values as a goddess of war, or rather does the title be misleading?" They're the old debate. I think historically we have shown very fairly that Athena values war, and understands the importance of it and the importance of conquest. She just values war being done smartly as opposed to the stupid, lunk-headed, mouth-breathing way of Ares.
I
Mars.
do not disagree that she values war. That is, you misunderstand. I do think it is also within her purview to find war when not necessary will only hurt us in the long run, especially when we are currently recovering from the plague.
Oh, I'm not saying we should invade Rustavac now. That's ways off, and if anything, I would like to hear Ozymandias' ideas for unification of Midgard and the...
What if he does not
continue-
want to invade?
Then he and I shall debate that very heavily.
Oh my god, I hate him so much. They nod like,
You!
yeah, topic. This is obviously something that was always like this, but I just, I've been away for a while and I've seen new things that I've never seen before, but I couldn't help but notice that, Chimera, sentient Chimera are barred from learning magic.
Yes? He says with a nod, as if
Why
nothing
is
wrong.
that?
Well, we here in Minervans are very open-minded. We allow them to live in our city rather than in sequestered ghettos. But there have to be some limitations. We can't have Arachne spellcasters wandering about, prying into secrets. I mean, firstly, they could use it to make more of their kind. Beyond simple reproduction, they could use it to make stronger strains of their kind. They could use it to challenge our systems, to find ways to break the limitations we built into their biology. Very necessary limitations to keep them
Limitations
from
built
overrunning
into
us.
their biology?
Like,
Yes. For example, Serpentars and Gorgons, they need to hibernate over the winter months, as a natural result of their reptilian physiology. If they could find some way to maintain their reptilian strengths while also having enough of mammalian metabolism to be active all the year round, that would keep us from population control. At least easy population control.
See, I am curious. Where do the Chimera tend to live here at Minervans?
Very well. I know it's controversial, but we allow them to live in town, and they can set up in wherever anyone else is. They generally afford the more low income places, given their work, but more than enough to suit their needs. Better than just letting them live in a hole in the ground like they do in most cities.
Oh God!
yes, the least racist progressive in the 1930s.
Yeah, that's basically it.
So as if I wanted to do some. Thank God they're wearing a mask as they choke a little on their own words. Research into some chimera, some functioning sapient chimera firsthand. Where would I go to do that? Where could I find some to
Oh, easy enough. I can get you a noted guide. And he reaches for a small crystal ball, rubs it a few times, and eventually says a name, which I have to make sure I'm getting right on here. Oh, come on, why aren't you on the... Oh, there, is that it? Let's make double sure by looking at the concept art. Do 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 do. Where the hell are you? Did you disappear? Okay. Hello. Could you send? Who's that one that you said is mediocre? Gwendolyn Golothol, please.
Oh my god! TT,
Yes, I understand that the seamstresses and the weavers need assistance, but you said yourself she's not particularly skilled, so send her in. I need her to guide a particularly high-profile member of our newcomers to show her how the various chimera are treated here, and explain how benevolent our care of them is. Thank you. I shall give you... let's say an extra 50 doses of rare dyes for this week, for your pains in sending me your least useful employee. Thank you.
Fucking Christ.
I hope you have no qualms of spiders.
Absolutely not. They are special to Minerva herself. Why would I have any qualms with that?
Excellent. Well, while we wait for her to come in, are there any more questions you have?
Let me see.
You might probably want to ask about the whole getting an audience with Minerva for winning the tournament kind of thing.
Yeah. If I recall, when somebody wins the tournament, they get an audience with Minerva herself, yes?
Well, we cannot guarantee the goddess will come, but we will do the entire ceremonial prayer to try and get a personal audience with Minerva herself, and perhaps if you're lucky, she'll send an owl or something.
Have you spoken to her?
No, I don't know of any high priests or philosophers who've actually spoken to the gods in living memory. They've withdrawn. Ever since, I think, our last failed war of conquest, they've completely given up on direct interaction. I do know that the previous high philosopher claimed that Bubo, the great big owl she has, perched here once, and they fed it a cow or something, but I think he might just be making something up to sound impressive. His tenure was not that great.
So, how did you become first high philosopher?
Well, I was already in the front running of the competition, as it were, to replace the previous tenant, and then he caught the plague, and he bows his head for a moment in silence. And the position opened up.
Well, at least he's respectful to his predecessor.
Yeah, no. At least there was that moment of respect, at least.
Well, of course, because he was a man of intelligence.
Yes, exactly. Glad our minds went to the same place, Raven. No. Are you sorry? I was saying
I'm
our
southern.
minds went to the same place.
It's a knee-jerk
You're southern, right? You're southern. Let's see. So, well, this is something that has also been on my mind as I've run into some odd practices across Midgard. And they lean in conspiratorially. There are women leading entire cities.
God damn it.
I've heard of such things, particularly in the South. They'll understand when history proves why that's a mistake.
Tell me, what is your opinion on that?
Oh, terrible idea. Women can have a sort of low cunning, and of course intuitions about matters of the home. But when it comes to making tough decisions, they lack the emotional core required. They're too sentimental to make the hard decisions required in public life. Best suited to ruling in the domestic. That's how it is with our gods, after all. Hera, queen of the domestic, Zeus, king of everything else.
Minerva?
Yes, Minerva. Well, Minerva is incredibly intelligent and wise. She is an exception, of course. But then, her mother was not really involved in the actual child process. She was born directly from Zeus's head. In some ways, she is more man than female.
Fucking what?
Clear
I
misogyny.
just want everyone to know I am not a misogynist in real life. Hopefully that's clear by all the other stuff I've done.
Yes. So
I just, unfortunately, I've taken a lot of feminist classes, and as I realize right now, there's actually a lot of misogynist logic that I sadly have memorized. Because a lot of these are real arguments.
yeah, I know.
I get you. But none of this is towards you, TT. This is all like, wow.
Yeah, TT, at this point in time, the highly refined transformation is a known spell, yes?
At this point, yes. At the very least, it would be something that is taught amongst the AMS students, and it would have filtered out from all the people they've interacted with. Like Ozymandias would definitely know of the highly refined transformation spell.
That's exactly okay. So you are a proponent of those wishing to use the highly reformed transformation spell.
Yeah, refined transformation. Well, yes. For those who are cursed with an inept, weak-willed female form, transforming themselves into a man makes perfect sense.
Not the other way around.
Theseus himself, one of our greatest wizards and philosophers, he was cursed with a pathetic female form and worked very hard to get his male form back. Well, to be frank, there are many men I have met who are of a very womanly disposition, and I can understand why they would prefer to be put into a place more suited for their limited intelligence.
This is advanced misogyny, holy shit.
Yeah!
I can't wait for Bubo to eat him.
In the scenes, we have to stop TT from getting cancelled.
I feel like Bubo the Owl is gonna swoop down. He's gonna swoop down and carry him off into the fucking sunset.
So, what of those who are neither and do not fall into that binary?
Do you mean like dragons? How they're not having gender? Animals don't intrigue me.
No, they feel being. Dragons are not merely animals. First of all, that you, as the Phi philosopher, you should know that is in fact a fallacy.
I have heard those arguing for their equal. They are incredibly intelligent animals, but we put them in bestiaries for a reason.
Oh my god!
It's like, no,
I'm sorry I'm being put through this.
Oh my god!
This is hilarious.
I made the character.
I fucking love this.
No. You know, this is very good. It's really making me hate him.
Look, if we don't clown on these people, no one will.
It is only assuring me that I'm making the right choice and taking his fucking job.
Yeah.
That's the point of this
man's entire career.
I'm going to end this man's entire career. Yes.
Meanwhile, like stabbing a dummy. Huh? For some reason, I want to stab someone even more now.
What I am speaking of is the likes of Janus.
The twin-faced god. Somewhat obscure individual to evoke.
Yes, but we must pay respects to all who deserve it.
Yes, and there are definitely some natural-born oddities in this world. I would assume that in these cases, the male side wins out. We generally depict Jonas with the male face facing forward, after all.
I see.
If anything,
And,
that would just mean it's a man who has the gift of being equally adequate in the domestic sphere as they are in the public sphere. Somewhat of a perfect being.
Oh my god! I'm going to kill him!
Not if Bubo does it first.
There is going to be a murder, TT!
I can't wait until one day this fucker dies, and it's just Athena sitting there, like, on his way to the underworld, just curb stomps his ass.
Sacrifice the misogynist to the feminist owl.
Okay, so...
You don't
see.
visit very often. Yeah, Uncle Hades needs you to hold a second. I gotta beat this man's ass.
It's like, why?
I haven't even judged his soul. Listen, just give me 5 minutes. Do you want 10?
Here comes Minerva with the steel chair.
I'm just imagining Hades slowly, like, reading through his fucking life. He's like, oh, you get 40. I was wrong.
He's just sitting there patting Cerberus, being like, I like it when the nephews and nieces come to visit. It's so rare.
Ares walks on over. It's like, hey sister, what's going on? Fuck.
It's just the joke.
Alright,
Just want to kick a nerd.
what horrendous thing did he just get done saying?
About how, if there was a person who was somehow both, had male and female characteristics like Jonas, that the male half would obviously be dominant, and all it would mean is that they would be the rare man who is just as good in the domestic as they are in the public.
That was... real quick, you can assure me that the plague has not spread here, yes? It is currently safe, correct?
So far, we have not had any cases for the last 5 months. As wonderful as I'd like to say it would be to say that plague's over, everyone pack up, start rebuilding, but let's stop worrying about it. General superstition holds true that when you say everything is fine, you are courting disaster. So I am not going to say we are for sure done with the plague. But we have not had any cases in 5 months, and I view that as a very good sign.
Then,
Boros just zooming over him.
Then you do not mind if I remove my mask?
But of course. Thoroughly, you have no sign of the plague.
No, and I was in fact a doctor of the plague. And they pull off their mask with the mismatched face and all.
He looks at you, concerned, and says, "Did you survive a case of it?"
No.
That's a very unique case of lich rot, then.
I suppose you could say that. Oh, are you... Do you not know what's going on here? She taps her face.
I'm humble enough to admit I don't.
She smiles at him. Well, maybe I'll have to tell you one day.
And he smiles back, looking very impressed, and says, "Well played. I shall ponder this mystery."
Well, I believe... Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I think your guide should be here. This has been a very wonderful meeting, he says as he sweeps over around his desk, puts an arm on your shoulder, and leads you out. With a very genuine warmth.
Oh no!
It's rare that I have such stimulating intellectual conversation, particularly with someone new to town. I really must insist you enter that Chimera baiting tournament. Are you sure I can't front you a bit of money to make sure you can really wow us?
You know what? Please do.
And he immediately gives you a satchel of 5,000 zenith.
Thank you.
You weren't sure at first, but now you want to please.
Yeah, now I'm gonna. Now I want to end this man's whole career. TT.
So, in the big entrance chamber, the big hall of Minerva with the great owl pedestal for the perch for the owl, you see Layla, Kato, and Eddie, still lying in the corner, talking. Eddie is sort of brushing gnats out of Layla's hair, and there's also an arachne standing there, looking very awkward.
Are they a familiar
arachne? A very different outfit than you last saw her in.
Okay.
The robes of a seamstress, but there is recognition in her face when she sees you, and you quickly realize you recognize some of those markings in the shade of her spider exoskeleton. As she stands in the hall of Minerva.
They're just smiling. Ah, hello. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi.
What is your name?
She smiles very nervously. I'm Gwendolyn Golofo. I was told I had to shepherd someone around. And show them where the Chimera's live. Yes, an excellent and gifted wizard of Mediterra who has come to share his expertise and help us with courting a certain attention of the great wizard. Oh, why am I telling you this? You don't care about such things. Go show her the high quality of living we allow your kind here. She gives a very forced smile, says, "Great. Follow me."
Yes. What was your name? What was your name, TT? What'd you say?
Gwendolyn Golofo. It's also on her character art.
Okay. As soon as they leave, is he coming with us?
He sees you out of the temple, and she leads you away while he goes back inside. And as soon as you are alone, before you can pin her down, she immediately jabs you with long, spidery fingers and says, "I don't know what the fuck you're pulling. I don't know how the fuck you found me, and how you got the fucking high philosopher on my case, but I am not going down for taking some library book." She blinks, looks you over. Well, you sure don't fucking look like it.
Pulls the mask back off with their, mismatched skin and eyes.
All right, I don't know enough about magic to know what the fuck I'm looking at here, but that's pretty fucking weird.
I didn't know what you were doing. I'm sorry. I am a chimera of two different people. And I used to live here. Do you know Beatrice by any chance?
Okay, first of all, hoity-toity, so the humans get to be chimeras of two people, whereas the rest of us get to settle being chimeras of one person?
Nobody knows yet.
Second, no, I don't know any fucking Beatrices.
Nobody knows that I am a chimera yet. I didn't know things were like this here. I didn't know you were just trying to learn magic. All I saw was somebody trying to...
And she covers your mouth. Okay, obviously we both have some secrets we're trying to keep that we don't want to be talking about openly.
Yes, let's go somewhere private.
Yeah, okay, fine. Fuck you. She leads you, she's like, "They're probably watching us, so I should lead you to where he would want us to go. She leads you through this gatehouse here into the district where all the newcomers were shepherded into. And you find a very tiny little hovel that she goes into. She fishes some keys out of one of her pockets, opens the hovel, leads you inside, at which point you realize that the center of the hovel is a giant circular trap door.
Oh.
Which she opens and says, "Yeah, come on."
What
Are
is-
you worried I'm going to bite you and wrap you up in thread and drain your fluids?
God, no.
She
That's an
smiles
awful thing.
and then leads you down.
That's an awful thing to think of somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I'm
And then you're led into a fairly spacious underground home. The walls and floor are covered in silk string. But other than that, it's very nice. There's some very, lovely furniture covered in silk. And lots of silk tapestries. The weaving on the tapestries, like the patterns, leaves a bit to be desired. It's a little simplistic.
These are very nice.
Thanks. I made it myself. Don't. And she again points to you. Don't tell anybody that I dug a basement.
Holds up both hands. What basement?
All right, we're understanding each other. And then she flops onto what's essentially a gigantic beanbag chair.
Oh yeah, it's probably what she needs with her legs. Yeah.
Yeah, with just the way her body is structured.
I am extremely sorry.
Yeah, okay, I can see how this is sort of a misunderstanding.
I didn't know. Oh, story short, I used to be a wizard and a witch. Some magic decided to do something fucky, and now I'm a single person. I'm currently dealing with the change in perspective that has given us.
She nods and then goes, "Fuck, magic's so fucking cool.
God,
This is why I want to learn about it."
Okay, listen. I don't think. Okay. I'd like to think that even before this, motioning at their face, I would have felt the same way about how you were being treated. But I'm not that. I am not those people anymore entirely, so I cannot say for sure. They treat women so bad here.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't really noticed the gendered specific discriminations here, more about the species specific ones in my case.
That's fair.
I feel like us arachnes get treated the same way for the most part. And again, I don't know that many male arachnes.
But, my point being...
Guess there's that one short guy.
This what?
Sorry, just thinking about the population. Go on.
This is wrong. This is extremely wrong.
And congrats you on the Fuhunies that seems to be up to speed.
I'm going to do something about it.
Oh. Is the thing you're doing involve giving me my library books back by any chance?
If I had them, I would. But
Fuck.
I have another.
It was really hard making that human glamour.
I'm so sorry, but I have another. Here, I have an idea, a way I can make it up to you until you can get your books back.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I am a wizard. Half of me was a wizard.
She looks you up and down. Is like, yeah, you're wearing medical robes.
Yes, but the medical robes are actually because my other half was a witch.
Huh. I didn't know witches did the whole, whatever. Okay. Wizard and a witch. I mean, I've read some books that say that witches and wizards are essentially the same thing. It's just different power sources, the way conjurers and sorcerers are both considered wizards. But, whatever.
Yes, that is on paper correct. Our magic is source comes from a different place, but it can be different in effect how one actually expresses their magic. What I'm getting at here is I can't get you your books back yet, and if what I'm planning works, you will not have to worry about not being able to get those books. But for now, you have a wizard right in front of you.
Dun, 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 dun.
A wizard who has also lived life as a witch and is also a witch. I get my magic from two separate sources, which isn't normal, and I'm going to have to figure out what that entails still. But if you have questions, I have answers.
She looks at you and she thinks for a moment. Alright. Okay. So you're a wizard. You understand the binding nature of contracts, right?
Yes.
And a witch, too. Witches really gotta understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I do have questions. And I really want to ask them. But also,
Okay.
I'm not 100% convinced that once all this is done and I've said a bunch of incriminating shit, you're not just going to go right back to the High Philosopher and rat on me and have me get squashed in front of the village square. So, let's make a deal. What really fucks up? Yeah.
What the fuck?
So here's what we're going to do. And she holds out a very... We're going to make a deal where neither one of us is going to tell on the other and be rats. And if either of us breaks this, the other is going to wrap the one who broke the contract up in silk and inject them full of poison that melts their insides into a slurry if it's digestible.
Well, I can't do that.
You got magic.
Yeah, but magic is not...
Figure it out, wizard!
See, magic... You can't just...
I mean, you have two chimeras to figure it out.
Yeah. You know what, actually... Snap, Snap, how is she gonna call Chitters? There's like a little... Oh, yeah, no. Chitters!
I don't think you want to bring an ant into a spider hole.
That's all... I mean, the ant is also the size of a human.
Yeah, but also is the spider.
Okay, good point.
I think in terms of instincts, Chitter's response would be like, "Oh, I'm in a place of nightmares."
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's not so much that, the arachne would give you trouble. The problem would be Chitters has instincts.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I am perfectly happy that I will not betray you.
Grab your hand.
What? She hasn't taken her hand yet. She's like, I understand why you feel this is necessary. And let's just... If either of us tells, then the other owes the other.
Okay.
I'd rather not either of us...
Here's the thing, though. I don't like those terms because if you tell, they're gonna squish me in front of everybody, and you're not gonna be able to pay me back when I'm a smear.
That's a good point.
Just agree to the digestion.
I really think it's gotta be a wrap you up in silk and fill you full of... I mean, I guess if you want to kill me a different way for telling, I don't really give a shit.
I don't want to kill you.
Well, yeah, I don't want to kill you either, but you could be a snitch. I don't know you that well. My two interactions with you are, one, you keeping me from getting fucking books, and
okay,
two, you having the fucking High Philosopher call me down to the Temple of Minervans to shepherd you around.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Takes her hand. Deal. If I tell, you can rack me in silk and inject venom into me.
And melt your organs into a digestible slurry.
All that.
Alright, cool. I have a question. So, first of all, if I am an innately magical being that my body is held together by magic and channels magic through it, like any natural arcane creature, why do I not have the ability to consciously control magic like a sorcerer does? And for that matter, why don't other arcane creatures? They have magic in them just like a sorcerer does. I've been told that it's equivalent to paragons, how they're humans who don't consciously control their magic. But it doesn't make sense to me. If the magic is in you already, what sparks the difference between conscious and unconscious control?
TP.
Yeah.
I could just bullshit that, but do you have an actual answer?
Here's the thing. That's unanswered.
Oh.
No one's figured that out.
See, that's actually one of the big mysteries of magic, is why it's
And in
like
fact,
that.
I'm going to give you a bit that you would know having studied magic. Asking that kind of question is often considered the sign of a good pupil in wizard school.
Okay. Then yeah,
That's
she
a person who's
smiles
actually
at-
thinking about the hard questions of wizardry.
Yeah, she smiles at her. Well, that's actually a very good question for your first question. Unfortunately, the answer is probably not what you want to hear. But it is
And
a
then
good question.
I'm gonna for the sake of all of us, I'm gonna put in a little transition sign that
Okay.
You spend at least half an hour, however long you would like, fielding her questions, and as you do, the more you realize that not only is she pretty well informed, but she has a clear, inquisitive mind, and has a lot of what it would take to make a very good pupil of magic, and potentially a very gifted conjurer.
Oh.
She has a very a huge understanding of magic components, and of spellcasting basics, particularly from a conjurer's perspective, because clearly she's done some conjuration herself. And she's peering into the questions that come with magic, which are kind of important to ponder if you want to truly become a great wizard rather than just a servant. In many ways, she seems like an ideal student. Minervan standards, she just has a couple physical imperfections.
Would you be willing to visit my sister's home?
Yeah,
Because
she's staying in a
she
inn like
lives-
you are, or what? And then she bites her lip. She's like, the couple of times I've tried to get in there, they were very adamant about me not being allowed there.
Then I guess I'll be staying at an inn where it just so happens that my guide can visit me.
It's true. I'm allowed at Boodle's Perch.
Because you have the perfect mind for this.
And her human cheeks go red, and her eyes go wide. The pupils shrinking and that sort. She's clearly never been given positive reinforcement on this subject in this way, even as minimal as it is.
Look, I intend. You know what? Fine. We've made a deal. If you tell, I get to kill you. It's only fair. I intend to
She
replace.
nods.
I intend to become High Philosopher by winning the Chimera baiting tournament and then demolishing the Chimera baiting tournament. And hopefully speak to Athena, or worse, if that doesn't work, bullshit that I spoke to Athena.
I mean, is that more or less heresy than what the one dude spoke?
Less. Significantly less. It's why. It's just, kind of untruthful. And, in war, sometimes you gotta know when to faint.
I mean, you gotta remember Athena's favorite hero was Odysseus, who was all about heresies and lies, just done artfully and for good reason.
He was a great strategist.
You know, Athena was offended by heresy that was just disrespectful. Heresy that's done cleverly and for a good cause, that gets her going a little bit.
She is the exact opposite of I like a man who's stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what she says. I am going to dismantle this. People like you and me, and you're so gifted. It is a crime that you are being treated
She's
this way.
just going scarlet.
Even if you weren't.
Or
gifted.
actually, she'd be turning blue because her blood's probably blue like the spiders.
Oh yeah.
I always wondered about that.
Even
Well,
if you
human blood is red and her spider blood is blue, wouldn't her blood be purple?
Yeah, that makes enough sense for me.
Fuck it.
I don't know if it actually
Purple.
makes biological sense, but it makes color theory sense.
Fuck it.
even if you
Also,
weren't
it's very-
gifted.
It's a very cute image.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if you weren't gifted, but you are, do not let anyone tell you otherwise.
Especially
if
some
you-
stupid, pig-headed men.
Yeah, especially some stupid man. If anyone told you otherwise, they're wrong and they're full of shit. But even if you weren't gifted, you deserve to learn. You want to learn. That is the most important part of learning. Is having the desire and the drive, and you have it in spades. I went to school with people with less drive than you.
She smiles slightly with slight embarrassment and looks away while sort of brushing her fingers through her admittedly kind of ratty hair and says, "Wow, what a tilt-a-whirl this is. You know what? You're forgiven for the book fiasco."
Yeah, and I apologize. I still apologize for it.
Yeah. All right, and then she gives you a very weak dope punch to the shoulder.
But is the deal to drink her fluids still good?
Yeah, I think
I might
so.
be talking up a bigger game than I meant to with the whole drinking fluids thing. I've never actually wrapped up a person and injected them with. I mean, I could. I just haven't.
Then what's that over there?
You know,
Halloween
that is
decoration.
probably a stereotype you have to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also a very real thing I can do physically.
Gwendolyn,
Some
do you
people
like,
pay up for the tying up part. What?
Look, you gotta pay
for that.
you gotta pay your student loan somehow, damn it.
Gwendolyn,
Just call me Gwen.
all right, you can call him. He would call me Theodoros. That's not really correct anymore. Call me Janus.
All right, Jonas. Fuck yeah, let's fight the power.
Fuck yeah, let's fight the power. Also, Janus.
According to Gator,
Gwen?
it's not Leica. That's
Yeah. Gwen.
Yeah.
You're well within your right to say no, and how things go, it might not even be necessary, but would you like to be my pupil?
You say that, and tears well up into her eyes. She's like, I need a minute. And she scuttles off to a part of
No, I'm sorry.
her cave, and you can hear the sounds of someone doing a muffled sort of squee into a pillow. And when she comes back, putting on very dignified airs, like, yes, I would.
I'll have to introduce you to the rest of my party. Both are going to be surprised at how quickly this took a turn. but they are also lovely people. They have accepted me for being what I am. They will hold nothing against you. But we are going to have to make a chimera for the tournament. I considered entering as myself, which is honestly still on the table, but probably less effective. But puts a hand on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Gwen,
Yeah.
I am going to teach you fucking magic.
Okay.
High philosopher be damned.
Yeah, fuck that asshole.
Yeah, he is a fucking asshole. Oh my god. I was talking to him, and it was one of the most uncomfortable conversations I've ever had.
Fuck this prick with his stupid little owl pauldrons.
God, right? He's like, he is so ready to sell his soul to Ozymandias.
That's that one Uber wizard everyone talks about from like east of Bacchanalia, right?
Yeah. And for all I'm actually going to meet him, so you're now also going to meet him. Congrats.
Oh, holy shit.
Okay. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to get comfortable with a lot of things really quickly.
I heard he graduated from the AM. And but they take
my school wasn't a great school, but they did take chimeras.
and she's like, okay, this is great. I'm gonna
You have family?
She scratches. No, I was my batch was made to fill a hole in the weaving collection, I guess you could say. A lot of my predecessors died to the Red Death, so.
Yeah, and I don't imagine the Mars militia helped. They got their hands on the tapestry.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry.
The ghost of Alex says on the Genesis.
All right. Gwen, hands on shoulders, looks into her eyes. You are now a wizard's apprentice.
And you have seen few people in your life look as happy, and none happier, than the Arachne standing before you is in this moment.
Aww. You know what? I'm going to try and I'm going to bring you to my sister's home. If they have something to say about it, I will tell them that you are my guide. That the High Philosopher himself appointed to me. How's that sound?
Okay.
Look, my sister's great. I think she'd be just as on board with this. Are you ready for this, Gwen?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Alright, you want... Alright, you want to stab something, I suppose?
Actually, I think it would be important first for me to learn how to protect myself. A shield.
Shield gets off the way as anyone's gonna do. If you're constantly on the back foot, you're never pushing the advantage, giving all the leeway to your opponent.
You're the expert here, but I do intend to learn a bit more, of course. It's just I won't always be able to attack. You know, just in case I need to defend myself from I don't know, an incoming blast of magic.
Yeah, I suppose that is fair. Okay.
And besides, I don't know how to my way around a sword, but I still know how to hit somebody with a book. And I've been doing some very heavy reading as of late.
Alright, I suppose I have some shields yet. Never fond of them myself, but I do know my way around them. So Leica is going to help Alex learn how to use shields, because she does not need to learn, because she is proficient with both shields and weapons. So if that helps Alex, what will I do for the roll? TT?
Well, sorry. What role are we rolling?
Wants to help Alex.
Leica is
Learn
helping
shield.
Alex because she knows how to use martial weapons.
I don't think that's a role. I think that like the core role of Fabula Ultima is that you have a role when it's something that you don't know how to do or don't know for sure you can pull off. I think teaching him what you know, your character can just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whatever advice that the Academy can offer. Because ideally he would like to learn both his way around a sword and a shield.
Yeah. No role required. You literally just help him out.
Leica there probably helps him like half the time it would be necessary.
Yeah.
There's the movie there's a montage.
In fact, if either of you two would like, I would allow you to justify this as a moment where you two gain a bump each other.
Oh.
Yay!
I wouldn't mind.
Yay!
I am making a bond of admiration, Gwen, as soon as we can.
Doing a bond of loyalty, as he already admired you.
Leica has the 3 levels of bond with Alex now.
Yay!
I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah. You're not too bad yourself, Alex.
Well,
Like
let's
a-
just hope they this training of mine.
Leica looks back towards the brewery, her brow furrowing.
Something up. You haven't really been yourself lately.
Well, let's just say you're not the only one whose history isn't as clean and cut as you were told.
Yeah, about that. It's. I've tried not to pry into it, but you clearly can relate. Just how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the fact that your family, that you come from terrible people?
Oh, come from terrible people. I love my dad and my mom.
Yeah, and
My mum's a bit well, scary at times, a little distant and awesome in everything she does, but
Well, I too would like to think that my birth parents were fine people, but I just mean the whole, further back relatives.
oh, grandma's always fun to know. She's every Samhain and every what's the Midgheim equivalent of Christmas?
Yuletide.
And every Samhain and Yuletide she comes to visit. That's when she stops and furrows.
Like, you've known about this for like a while now, like, right? It's This isn't something that was just sprung on you a matter of days ago. That you have not so great relatives.
Well, Kalalika point to herself, like, you kind of, like, growing up, you kind of learn to assume that you come from people who aren't exactly like everyone else. So you weren't me when I was way younger, who thought that Mom was a dragon and not, a demon.
Yeah,
As in fact as it can be on another half dragon was broke 6-year-old me saw it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Being a half demon's badass in its own right. And not the
Well, that being said,
damnation of hell, but
well, for what it's worth, I don't think you're bound for hell. Like, you're a good person.
oh, come on, Max. Like punches on the shoulder. I was like, I wouldn't say it was Gene for us, but I was like,
The kid didn't want to break their allies' faith in her spirit by revealing the true darkness of the depth of her soul.
yeah.
Sheer amount of red in her ledger.
Those 3 men who attacked us, you sure you never saw? I'm gonna assume no, but you sure you've never seen them before?
No, not at all.
Well,
This is all frighteningly new to me. That,
I might have a lead on that, but
yeah, as a matter of fact, it's kind of, it's making me kind of anxious thinking about the fact that the entire time I was, back that there were people looking to find me and probably kill me.
well, yesterday, or is it yesterday or is it just later today from last session?
Yeah, I don't think a day has passed at all.
It's later today. I don't think we've finished today yet.
Well, earlier I met someone who was also looking.
Yeah, didn't Virgil said he was looking for somebody?
No, yes, but given what he is, I don't think we should. But if he's just at the same point, he's also someone who can be. If we look into what he wants us to look in, we'll get him to look into look into things that are after you. After all, they come from the same source.
So,
Bank.
you're implying then that judging by your demeanor after you returned from the bar place, that you met a demon there?
No, it's any demon. You know what the Malabranch are?
Maybe.
No,
I don't really know. It's my.
Wait, didn't last session Alex?
Well,
know
yeah,
something
you
that-
know what? Yeah, you're right. He does have like vague knowledge of the Malabranch.
Yeah, that's
in-
what I
in
was
the
kind of
sense
going off.
I've in the sense of I've heard my aunt mention some of these names before.
Yeah, that's the kind of like what I was gonna go off. It's like, maybe once or
I think
twice.
I think I mentioned it last session that we met a member of the Malabranch, but
Might have happened.
that's a member
That
of
was
the
2
Malabranch.
weeks ago. My memory is not good.
Yeah, I think that what we know is that members of the Malabranch are like being held captive and or missing.
Yeah.
That's what Red and Rabbit told you. Yeah.
Yep. And Leica did mention that, but she didn't mention who told her that.
Yeah. So you met one of those. A real bona fide demon. And not like those, like, wraiths we met, like scary?
Those are real bona fide demons. They just manifested their bodies out of ash, and ultimately were not putting their all into it. Because whoever sent them after you did not respect the person at all to really give it their all.
And so this one you met is different somehow?
This one we met, I'm at least sure of it. It's a... We know it's a demon of the Circle of Wrath is a member of the Malbranch, and probably of a higher class and rank than those three, likely all.
Oh. Great, so I have demons on my tail, and you had a run-in with some kind of wrath demon who's big and in charge or something. Ugh. Things used to be so easy, so uncomplicated.
Me? Were they?
Well, I mean, when you're used to just the routine of a farm.
Fair
Also,
enough.
when you're young and carefree and not expecting anything. Yeah, I'm gonna be on the farm for the rest of my life, just living like...
Mm-hmm. Like, by
That
the
is a fair point.
yeah, it's like you're the lost prince of a far-off country. This is not a good thing. You are God's favorite. Derogatory.
Well, that's another thing that's gonna be on my mind, I suppose. At least whatever that red guy is actively hunting us seems to be doing his own thing, right?
No connection. He has no association with or interference with what we're doing so far. His business is in Plutone. Tacos or burgers? Tacos.
So, did you say something about like he's looking for others of his kind?
That I'm witnessing.
So he's trying to save his own people. That's not what I would expect from a demon of wrath.
Well, if it, you know the saying, an attack on one is attack on all.
Yeah, that was my concern initially. That because if we fought some demons, all of them would be mad at us. But I'm gonna trust you on that.
Hell is
Other people?
let's just say the business politics in hell is very competitive. Chances, even in the same circle, if you screw over one demon there, it'll probably get all the rest to mock and laugh at them.
I suppose
If you pants the tempter, they're probably not going to hear the end of it for the next few centuries. I recall a story of an imp who failed to tempt to whoever they were tempting that even though they were technically banished, the banishment was considered such a great freedom from hell. They basically were damned, quote unquote, to only be able to return to hell after they've tempted a member of some famous witch's family. No.
Exiled from hell, and from what you're saying, hell just sounds like a moray of politics. That's of course, the same thing that drove this country into the ground is the worst thing possible.
Politics, endless torture, tedious, busy work over and over and over again.
Yeah, sounds just like home.
Huh. That's damning.
It's like
Yeah, literally.
it's almost like hell's other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Established in Wizard School Mysteries Book 1 that hell is a high society party.
mm-hmm. It's the dead man's party. Who can ask for more?
No, see, that's the kind of party that fucking swings.
Because the
Leave
dead know
your
how to
bodies
party.
at the door.
We love you, Oingo Boingo.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the hell high class parties is like so. Just a bunch of rich people at a boardroom table, just looking
Did that
fancy.
asshole use the wrong fork?
Ah,
I'm gonna kill
Oh
him.
my god.
Well, it sounds like the same sort of. So, what if I'm understanding this correctly? It's hell is just a bunch of people, the same kind of people who got poor Cassidy killed.
I
well, the
guess you
people
could
who got
say.
Cassidy killed are more or less the people who are being tortured there endlessly for all time immemorial.
I guess you could say, hell is other people.
I just said that.
But that before
Arrived
you
to the same
say-
conclusion and from different routes. But I guess I'll circle back around to my original curiosity. Like, how do you deal with it?
Deal with what?
Just the whole messy family thing. I mean, I love my mom and dad, like the people who raised me.
I'm gonna be honest here. My interaction has only been very recently, like not counting grandmom. Not talking about grandmom Visago.
So neither of us really know what to do, really.
Like a look sheepishly. No, not really. So the first time you see her Bernina crack, like, yeah, no.
Well, how about this? We make an agreement that if either of us figures it out, we'll tell the other one how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Not from a contract with you though.
I was just like a general agreement. I wasn't thinking of any like magical contracts deal. Never mind. My brain seems to be fixating on the whole demon thing.
I tell you what. Even though Virgil told me to avoid it, if you want, and we can both go to the brewery and get answers there if you want, or try to.
He looks at the brewery, looks to how it rattled you. No, I think this day has gone on long enough. I'm not sure I have the stomach to meet a fire and
If you want to roll an
brimstone.
insight on why the rattling happened, you can.
Sure thing.
What's my difficulty check?
I'll tell you based on the roll.
Wow.
I mean, you can use your bomb with like a
10 is the
roll.
minimum, really.
Yeah, no, I think he's just gonna nod.
We're all
Yeah.
just sort of in our own personal headspaces at the moment. That's
Yeah.
fine. You're allowed.
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah. I don't think I have it in me to meet a flesh and blood demon of wrath. Honestly, and especially since the workout you just put me through, I think I just want to sleep.
Yeah. I know Janice's lovely sister invited gave us a room, but for me personally, I'm just gonna head back to Boobo's porch and myself. No.
Yeah, let's
something about this hoity-toity town doesn't feel right with me.
What specifically? The fact that they just got through a siege?
I don't know. Just anytime I pass by a group of men, I get more stares than usual.
Well, to be fair, and I hope you don't find this offensive, you do have horns.
More in the... Because I'm from Bretons and I already get a lot of shit from Mediterraneans anyways, but... The horns never really, like, got more attention. Like, there's clowns and all that, you know, but here it just feels like something else is...
Oh. I think I get what you mean, yeah. Should we find Gore wherever he's scampered off to?
Otherwise, where is Gore?
I'm sure wherever he is, he's having a great time.
Obviously, that means we have to cut away to Gore having a horrible time.
Raven?
Raven.
I just hope I didn't put him on the spot.
We cut to Gore, fighting 15 different knights at once with a single fork. Their blades coming in hot and parrying each blow. How long can he go? How long can he hold on with this? When he wakes up, he's still at the brewery.
He might be taking care of birds.
Taking care of chickens.
Yeah.
It's alright. Taking care of chickens and working overtime. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
in the meantime, maybe we should find Janice. I'm sure after all that, they must be done speaking with the High Philosopher.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this plan, the whole entering the tournament thing?
Like a shrug, it's a little more not quite fully on board with it. No, I'm pretty sure 12-year-old me would be ecstatic about like taking a bunch of creatures and putting them together and then stomping a bunch of knights who don't know about us. But
I understand the logic of it, play within the system a little bit so they don't immediately kick us out, then for some actual good change, but I still don't know how to feel about creating a living thing for the express purpose of throwing it into a meat grinder.
no, nor do I. To be honest, this whole political situation is dull and tiring. Don't know why my father was ever able to withstand it. I never had a temperament for it.
You talk about your father from time to time. What does he actually do?
He says he was like some sort of courtier who was into politics. He said he was retired, but I think he was more of a jester for hire.
Your father was a clown, but you don't look like the Jester's Gabe.
Like the job jester, like the ones who kings hire to poke fun at them in acceptable ways and sometimes change the kingdom, but
I should clarify. Jester is an occupation. Clown is a species.
His brain is still on demons.
Clowns can get hired as jesters from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he. I think he was a jester or a wandering bard who did stage plays and.
So, and is it okay to ask about your mum?
Like Rose. She was a monster hunter.
Oh, so you're, following in her footsteps, so to speak. I was sorry.
You need to roll that insight to know that there's a little bit more of a. At
Sorry,
her age, you kind of get the feeling like, oh, in Mama's shadow, I see.
Mm.
You get that.
Yeah.
You like all your time was like her demeanor, like you get a feeling, oh, there's some inferiority there.
Yeah, you'll pick up on that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pick at a scab.
Fine, it's just when your mom done all these cool things, and then you grow up hearing about all her adventures and all the things she's done. It's just. Ugh.
I'm sorry. Well,
So
if
you get out of
it's
this. And then
if it's
being
any
so
consolation,
and then being so sheltered because of her death, and just.
well, if it's any consolation, I don't see your mother running around here.
Well, it's because she mostly did it in her taunts.
Yeah, exactly. So, just carving your own path, as it were.
He has no helping. So much from monster hunters haven't killed a single monster.
I mean, some of the monsters we've met don't deserve killing. I mean,
And that's the thing. It's always talking with it. Oh, they're not really. And then hearing the stories of like all these actual like pure evil things that do. It's like so far the only pure evil things I've seen are people who don't think are monsters who was like in charge of places and just.
well,
That man who we met in Junatonia for the King's Guard. I don't think I've met a more despicable monster in my entire life till I've seen him.
I will admit,
Seeing him just get cursed and just nothing but get away scot-free, which is so.
I will admit, there are bad people out there in the world. That's just a fact, and trying to act like there's not is just as foolish as saying there's no good in the world. That being said, let's just I don't appreciate my aunt Miranda. I don't appreciate Miranda going and cursing that man just because he offended me.
Well, he also violated. Tried to murder.
Yes, he did wrong. It was back around to this thing that apparently I have connections to important people, and apparently that means people are going to.
Oh. Well, there's one thing that my father was right on. If you have a crown, you can always just throw it away.
I don't even have a crown. That's the thing. I'm as far away from Rusklavek as possible, and still it found me here.
Oh. And that's why, Alex, we're going to find out and stop them. So we can go, and being the Alighieri I know, because I don't know no Alex Tramiel, I know Alex Alighieri. Besides, we all know the real secret royalty is gold, but he isn't telling us. Yeah. Sorry.
As the ethereal space yelling at you
Oh, sorry.
for perpetuating
people-
this horrible lie.
Oh, look. Gora's returned. That's a perfect segue.
Been here for a while, man.
Yeah, what are you up to? Gore?
Speaking of devil, hi, Gore. I was just looking for you.
He wasn't actually in the scene.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's, speaking of devils.
it. Faye, much different.
Very
Well, I mean to say we were speaking of literal devils.
Well, I was just asking for trouble.
Yes, it is. But whether or not we like it, seems the trouble finds us.
I will say he does have like a mug of some sort of ale. I say that just because I'm drinking my tea. It's like, he doesn't explain where he got it, he just has it. It's like,
adds to
You'll,
continuity.
yeah,
I do not even produce a venom.
Alex will just blink and it's like, so is that any good?
talking about demons? Rarely.
No, what you drinking?
Yeah. It's very nice.
See, I was half expecting it's like Gore's just like, oh, it tastes like swill.
Oh. You're not gonna talk shit about food unless it was, like,
mean, it's
insanely terrible. Like,
It's garbage, but it's for me.
Bacchanalia, but it's good.
It's like, it's not exactly made by the gods, but it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you must understand, my tastes are garbage, and
I mean, you say we have the weed of the gods, so theoretically we could do some god ale.
True.
Yeah, but anyways, just like, so what are you two up to?
Well, we just taught him like he propels his shield now, so he's not going to be.
so I can properly defend myself.
Nothing wrong with the old sword
I
and board.
intend to go back and learn other things too, but
Talking about the 3 demons that were after him.
The schmucks.
Yes, the
Yeah, the
schmucks
ones
I
who,
nuked.
yeah, smucks.
Yeah, the 3 stooges who were really phoning in their job.
Yeah, wise guy, eh?
3 goons.
God, we could have ended that fight by asking which one of them was goon number 1.
And then they just argue forever.
Which one of you is the head goon?
It wasn't a particularly. It's not like it was a particularly hard fight anyway.
Yeah,
No.
Which one of? We need to stop asking questions of who is the man and who is the woman in the relationship. We need to start asking who is the bulk and who is the skull.
Are you goon number 1 or are you goon number 2?
Oh god.
Was
Okay,
well,
god damn it.
It sounds like you've had a productive evening all the same.
Yeah. I was heading back to the Bubos for a chin because as much as I love the hospitality of Janice's sister, this whole place rubs me the wrong way.
I feel bad for resting on her hospitality. It's that they just got through it. She just got through a siege, and I don't expect the average person expects 1, 2, 3, 4 people to suddenly drop in uninvited.
It's not like we're using up all her food or anything.
No,
She's also very pregnant and having some hands around the house was probably very nice.
yeah.
She's probably asked
But-
people to carry shit for her.
Yes.
That's what
Counterpoint.
shit is. That's what
Counterpoint.
Chitters is.
Yeah, so yes, counterpoint. Alex is feeling very self-conscious this evening.
Aw. Yeah, that's where Chitters is. Chitters is helping,
Yeah, there's just a big panther helping around the house.
No, it's Panther.
Size.
I imagine, like, in terms of dimension and size.
Oh.
It's like, look at this cute black kitten I found.
Dun, 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 dun.
But no, it's actually a giant antlion.
Yes, that's the technical correct
That's
designation.
The
so,
best kind of correct.
He's heading back to Bubo's perch.
it's like, so you're both heading out then?
Head to the Bubo's perch because I'm gonna stay there for the night.
Suit yourself.
What are you
Where are
doing,
you
Gore?
heading to?
Free room and board sounds pretty good to me. Yes, he's going to mooch.
It's not
family's
mooching if
off
you
for
were
half.
invited. My God.
Oh yeah, he's a fake. He was offered hospitality. He's obliged to take it.
Also true.
Yeah, it's just like, you're never getting rid
He's
of
a
me now.
boogeyman specifically. He can just curl up under the bed.
Yeah, he just like goes to the couch, flops to the floor, rolls underneath the couch.
Just goes, alright, time to go to bed, walks into the closet.
God, Gore's teleportation ability is literally just using boogeyman closet teleports.
Fuck, you
It's like
found
You
me
can
out.
fast travel to any closet or under the bed you've ever been to.
Or you don't feel the need to stay in the closet. You're safe here.
Ah, you bastard.
Yes, we support you. I'm
I know he's a bit of a fairy, but
oh my God.
Wow. He's from frickin' Breton, so that
That
actually
one was
means shit.
bad.
That actually means shit. He's from Bretons, man. Anyways.
Yeah, be careful what you say. That's kind of a
oh,
Bad
hell no,
word.
he's not saying that shit.
it's kind of a bad word where we're from.
It's better never call a fae a poofer.
So, so at the very least, Leica and Gore are countrymen.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's mentioned he's from that area. But,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
they talk about.
he does have an accent. I'm just not doing it because... Eh.
Because you're recovering from sick.
I didn't do it before.
I wonder if the two of them can talk about homesickness at all.
One thing I'll say about
They both also seem pretty comfortable being worldly and traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one thing Leica will agree: fuck Breton's food.
So he's just
But,
gonna kind of shrug.
Is that
like,
why Gore left?
You'll have to find out.
British food.
The answer may surprise. Yes.
That's why he left his homeland. He's a gourmand, but he had the misfortune of being born in Britain.
As much as I'd love to roast the various countries of Europe, I am ironically that being a vaguely medieval fantasy land comes first before any cultural lampooning. And as a vaguely medieval fantasy land, everywhere in Midgahheim has great fucking food.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Truly, this is a
We're in
hobbit-friendly
a
world.
fantasy land first and foremost. When you get a meal, it's gonna fucking rock.
Yeah, that's why we're able to eat anachronistic tacos.
Have a talk.
Where are we?
I don't know if I'm gonna let taco. I don't know if I can go that far.
That was a reference to the last unicorn when he pulls up and says "Have a taco."
Shit, does he?
Yes,
Oh my
the,
God.
the bandit leader. He goes, "Have a taco," and it ends the scene. Whatever the fuck is Robin Hood wannabe ass.
Cully, Captain Cully.
Yeah, there he goes. I couldn't
Fuck,
remember.
well, now that's another reason to rewatch The Last Unicorn.
It's such an offhanded line. I don't
Oh,
remember it.
tragedy. You have to rewatch The Last Unicorn because
Yeah,
it's
one of my favorite. A movie that I watch at least once a year as part of a reconnecting with my fantasy roots. Yeah, oh no, jeez.
It just okay. To be fair, I didn't
no.
notice that line until somebody pointed it out when I was listening to people talk about it. I'm like, wait, really? And then yeah, he does.
Apparently now,
Peter S. Beagle admittedly stated in interviews that he wrote in anachronisms because they amused him.
Good. Anyways,
Yeah, valid.
we have derailed. Sorry.
also, there's a Bigfoot in the.
Yeah, well, I'm fairly certain they eat pizza in either book 1 or book 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's not called pizza, but from the description, it's pizza.
Can I stumble upon the gang with Gwen?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just at the like.
As you guys are walking, you notice not only Jonas but also a big fucking arachne lady following behind her, or them.
Listen, I'm pretty sure the tacos are from across the sea.
Ah, there they are.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. Tacos taste great.
Hello,
Okay.
Janice.
I concur, but soft
This
or
is-
hard?
Micah?
Yes.
This is what happens when you let your friends play with your cannon.
TT, I'm the one who canonized the Grinch in their first campaign you played with us.
That's true. That's true. I
There
mean,
you are.
I offhand had mentioned the Grinch. You're the one who made the Grinch like actually plot important.
It's
And that dramatically changed the game forever.
Yeah, it did.
is
I walk up to them.
as well as in the Gorn, like her in the middle of a taco debate.
Stop talking about food.
Turn.
I
Gwen
fucked it up.
cautiously follows behind everyone else. Jonas has apparently adopted like a 20-something Spider Woman.
Just,
Hey,
Get-
Janice.
Hey.
Who's your friend?
This is Gwen.
She
Gwendolyn.
waves nervously.
Don't worry, Gwen. They're all right.
Hello, I'm Micah.
This is Leica. This is Alex. And this is Gore.
waves.
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
Looks around. Yeah,
Eh,
is
not-
this place right now?
People milling about, like it's it's living, but it's not like it's not like there's a festival going on.
Is there any is there any basic magic just for like some privacy?
Yeah. Like there are spells that you can do to just like deflect attention, where people won't know. This like not as far as like hiding behind a wall of invisibility, because that can be noticeable if people just disappear. But
Yeah.
like just making people like just ignore that thing that's going on over there.
Attention deflection.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's called the Broody Booth in the back corner.
Just if you want, we could head to one of the bars or the Bugos Inn or your sister's house.
I was hoping to introduce Gwen to my sister.
Would you like to do that now?
We're at
Yes,
the
are
Bugos
you?
Inn.
It looks like the rest of
I
you
would
were
say
doing-
like right now you guys are like here.
Where?
You're not quite at the inn yet. You were walking along and having conversations.
Where are we?
You're right here. This is where you're past. You and Gwen coming from this direction, everyone else from this direction.
If you're pigging, I do not see any pigging. Oh, there. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
My ping.
They're both orange.
Well, are you not coming to my sister's?
I don't feel comfortable leaning on her hospitality too much.
And this whole edition was rubs me the wrong way.
What was that?
This whole upper district rubs me the wrong way. And,
That's
as Leica looks back.
yeah. That's Yeah, so I'm gonna do that spell, TT, just like, you know.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make it like card you MP for it. It's a fairly simple spell.
Yeah, whispers to Gwen. Watch this.
She watches.
And, yeah, she's gonna cast that spell.
Excellent.
So, I cast a spell that'll give us just some subtle privacy. Alright, go on. You know, this place is not... This place isn't good.
The snort was in character.
What?
I said that snort was in character.
Okay. Look. I haven't been here in years. There's a lot of things that I haven't had experience with in a while. And Gwendolyn here just wants to learn magic. And she's already got the mind for it. It's awful that she can't learn. And I'm going to teach her. So,
Wait, so you saying that there's an active repressive regime in this town?
yes! I'm going to burn it. Well, not literally burn it down, because, you know, there's a lot of innocent...
I live here.
Yeah, because I live here, but I'm going to metaphorically tear it down. I'm going to tear it down. I am going... I talked to the High Philosopher. He was, I think, the most insufferable person I've ever met.
Bet.
Like, how insufferable are we talking? Like, more insufferable than the Emperor's Man Knight?
Ooh. It's bad. It's bad, you guys.
Ooh.
Was he more insufferable than the one
So I've
Mars
taken...
captain?
What was that?
It's asking if he was more insufferable than that one the one Mars captain. You know, we'll send you back your children. And catapult. That douchebag.
Oh.
Tribune grind.
Douche.
So, not as bad. I don't know if he's as bad, but he's more insufferable.
Impressive.
Right. So, since you're here and you would know the plans to enter into the
So
tournament,
that is something I wanted to talk about.
On one hand,
On the one hand,
is there any other way besides that we can change the town? Because either way, would you say the entire town will be there during the
no, see,
Chimera?
they don't need to be there, Leica. If we win,
No.
yeah,
That's not answer the question.
the whole town will not be there. No.
That
Well,
was
I imagine the majority of it will be.
because
It's a big tournament. It's gonna be fun. Everyone loves Chimera baiting.
Because if the majority of the town's gonna be there, then who's watching, say,
you really want to kill that man, don't you?
all the slums?
What are you plotting, Leica?
Well, do you hear the people? Basically,
You're
of
implying we
character.
start a riot during
No.
the Chimera
No.
baiting?
look, here's my logic out of character. I had the wild idea of talking like all the drivers into using their Weaver stuff to put like and using illusion magic to create a chimera, but it's the illusion of one was actually a construct of web and like other shit, like Atal Call.
Okay. I do like that idea, but
And into the tournament. And then once
I
it,
like-
and once it wins, it was like, oh, these did all these things. You need to.
But I don't know. It's like there's some powerful wizards here. I don't know if we could get an illusion past them.
I mean, you just got one passed on the High Philosopher.
No, I didn't. I mean, it's like basic bitch. Privacy spell is not like if he is actively trying to get through it.
I was talking about your little. Like, he was so up his own ass, he didn't know that your two people fused together earlier.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't an illusion. That was literally just him being fucking up his ass.
I have a question. If
Yeah?
we decide to create a chimera, a living, breathing, bleeding chimera for this, and it survives, ideally, what would you do with it afterward?
Find it a place that can be happy. Find it a place you can live. I mean, look, this is the conversation we need to have. I still am toying with the idea of us entering the tournament with me as the Chimera.
I'm going to say no to that for one reason. If at any point they're aware you're a chimera, they have laws against chimera learning magic. Suddenly, you are
But
acceptable
they can't-
for those laws.
But I've already learned magic, Gore. I learned magic before.
Since-
Yes.
Since when does that
I think
matter
what
to
he's
the law?
trying to
It's a loophole
I think what he's trying
they
to
can
say
use
is that it
against
may be
you.
grounds to disqualify us.
My sister thought the idea of me entering as myself had merit.
And she's not a ruthless politician.
And
Well-
if any, she is a teacher at the college. Well, the school. If that could be a huge issue, I feel like she would have spotted it immediately.
I still think it's
They
a
can't-
needless risk.
They can't punish me for having been forcibly turned into a chimera after learning magic.
Gore will look at you and tilt his head and ask, since when?
If the headmaster is as prejudiced as you say he is,
He likes me, unfortunately.
I have to ask, since when does intent ever matter to those who use the law as a weapon?
No, okay, you're right, Gore, but I'd like to have a tiny bit of faith. No.
I don't doubt you can
Only
do
there
this.
is way to-
She looks at Gwen, and then no, you're right. You're right, Gore.
It's like, I don't doubt you could win this, or even pull significant sway. I think, though, the smart idea is to wait until there's no stopping you.
I just wish there was a way I wish this tournament wasn't a thing that people don't create things just to make them hurt.
And if what we want to do succeeds, I'm tearing that down. I'm letting the Chimera
But how
learn
many
magic.
How many people in other Chimera will die if we do lose tournament? Yes, Oz might have a chance of living to the end. But what about all the
Look,
others?
If it's us in there, we don't need to kill anything. Knock them unconscious, but we don't need to kill anything. The meeting with Athena, fake or not, that is extremely important to showing our legitimacy.
I mean,
And I actually wanted to bring that up while we were here. Gwen,
And even if we do meet with her, we've like God before, and even his own worshippers were ignorant. What if this whole place is the same with her?
if it's real, it's real. And that is that is something that's not happened in a long time.
I mean, if you do meet with her, it's simple. You just ask to bring some proof with you.
Exactly. But if she is not ready to speak to me, which I do not blame her, I plan to go to the temple and attempt to pray to her if that'll do anything. Oh, by the way, Gwen, we met Mars.
What?
We met Mars
If you do talk
in
to her,
person.
ask
God-
Athena for
God
some
damn.
olive oil.
That's a great idea.
Or Minerva, my bad.
Yes. Miss Indolin, I'm terribly sorry. If you're going to be spending time with us, you're going to have to learn how to accept many strange things very quickly.
Yes, I
I'm
did
gathering
want
that,
her.
yes.
She is my pupil. I met her. Obviously not as openly here until we can get things changing, but I think she might be traveling with us. Depending how she feels after all this.
A lot's happened today.
A lot has happened today. But, so, I'm going to pray to Athena, to Minerva, and hope I can get something. And then once the tournament comes and we win, hopefully she will appear. But if not, we can lie about it. We have... Misdirection is an important part of wisdom. Athena will not be insulted that if I lied to change this place, her home, that does not let women rule anything. I know this is a lot, and I don't intend to stay behind. I'm still coming with you all to Ozymandias. But I can't leave this place and stay. I need to do something. If I can become High Philosopher, I can institute changes immediately. And yes, I'll have to leave soon after. But if I can get the ball rolling...
I did have a thought.
I understand.
Yes?
Since the big problem with creating the Chimera is it could, well, in all likelihood, take every other Chimera and kill them, why don't we just teach it not to murder indiscriminately? It doesn't save the other Chimera fighting other Chimera, but...
Yes.
What if we create a Chimera? What if the Chimera we create has paralytic and
some kind of can't fight,
what
then
about Hooga?
you would win by... What's a hookah?
A Hooga. I know what a Hooga is, right, TT?
I would say you could. I would say that's justifiable.
Okay, yeah. You don't know Hoogas. They're relatives of dragons. They have a they have a breath weapon. They have a breath that spews this sticky, gooey substance. It's part of some Hooga part.
You would know more than I. You live here, and you have access to their library, don't you?
Yes. Hoogas are, for one, extremely intelligent, so it would be creating something not just intelligent, but potentially fully sapient, like myself and Gwen. But that, if they are...
If
they are...
Yeah. If all the other Chimera can't fight, then we would win by default, wouldn't we? And we don't have to kill any of them.
And that would just prove our point more.
pie in the sky idea.
What was that?
Pie in the sky idea.
Yes, let's hear it.
Whatever how we're doing, how to make it, we try to have it be able to use magic.
Explain.
Whatever. Well, the whole thing is around like chimeras aren't allowed to use magic and can't use magic, right?
They're not allowed to learn.
Well, if our super chimera is able to use magic and show that it's able to, that would and we use that. Don't interrupt me, please. And we use that to basically be a advertisement for what you could do with magical chimeras to bolster and get the seeds going into the rest of the population. Because right now you're too focused on being the one man in charge, who is the top lady telling us what to do, and then letting everyone else tell. You're gonna fall in line. That's not how it works.
I mean, it's not that.
These are systems. Systems can't just be gotten rid of by just becoming the one man in charge.
Leica, I'm not saying that. Being the one in charge would let me make the efforts to change it. It's not going to be immediate. I'm not expecting it to be. And making a chimera they are magical, but they cannot inherently cast magic. That is a common question. It is in fact one of the first questions among wizards. Is chimera, while they have their own.
Well, then, if we are being guided by the gods, maybe we can ask for divine intervention in our creation.
Pretty sure the gods abstained from sporting events. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think so. God?
Well,
Do the gods have a history
Are
of...
gods allowed to intervene in sporting events?
I wouldn't say they have a history of it, but I mean, mortals generally aren't in the know when gods want to do something.
Fair enough. I wasn't sure if they had like an
If Zeus
interpersonal
comes
thing
down and
that,
is like, "Hey, I'd like to play discus," you're not gonna be like, "Well, it's against the rules for you to join, my dude." That's like a one-way ticket to Tartarus. Are you fucking kidding me?
He would just fight you for the dignity.
I would love if the gods helped us, and I'm going to hope that.
Pie in the sky idea.
Yes. I entirely see what you're saying, and if we could get that to work, it would be fantastic. But we cannot inherently create a chimera that can cast spells. They will have magical abilities if they are from magical creatures, obviously, but as actually me and Gwen were talking about earlier, it is in fact a great mystery of magic why chimeras cannot inherently cast spells, because they have an inbuilt source of magic themselves. They can't do even what paragons can do, and we don't know why.
Alright, so magical mysteries aside then, sound a plan then. Because, I mean, I visited Ollie earlier and I got Ventus hairs. We can throw that into the medley. If our creature is big and strong enough, it doesn't even really have to hurt anybody. It could be the last one standing.
Just weather the storm
is it like a free-for-all
and use that Huga stuff
tournament?
you mentioned.
Basically, each chimera is going to be tested by warriors. It's going to be 1v1 matches at least at first, but there are you don't know the exact rules of it. Traditionally, chimera paintings is 1v1, but they might jazz it up.
Yeah. Atanto Tyrantus is good defense.
It has the size, it has the strength, it has the durability.
Huga's that is intelligence, and their breath is good. It will be good for keeping this non-lethal.
Also, we could use spider. We already have ants.
Would it be alright to add like some like clippings from Chitters into the mix? Would that mess it up, PT?
You're gonna find out when we actually get to the chimera making bit.
Oh, okay. So yes, potentially adding some clips from Chitters. Oh, Gwen, I think you're gonna have to get used to Chitters, and then Chitters comes up out of like the ground and skitters over.
Oh,
This is my familiar, I suppose. Yeah.
oh, I didn't know people made those anymore. I mean, I read that Myrmecalians were horrible.
Normally they are, but
Managed to,
hey,
with help of course, managed to stabilize them. A whole batch of them.
Wow.
And our Odonto Tyrantus friend out there, Janice regrew their horn.
And she, Gwen looks at you, like like, oh, she was already like, pretty much on your side, but like now there's like renewed admiration, as your credentials are established.
Aww. That is, that's something else huge happened. That my single greatest accomplishment was healing an Odonto Tyrantus horn.
Mm-hmm.
Is that gonna be something that like is remembered down the line, TT?
Well, there'll be fallout for that, I'm sure.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because as the fucker said, it's like, ooh, if we could learn a way to just keep shaving off their horns and then regrowing them, it'd be a
Yeah, no, I'm not telling him fucking anything.
He's not a healer, so he wouldn't know the first step.
As soon as you may establish something as possible, weird chuckle fucks are going to say, how can I profit off it, though?
Yeah.
How can I make this unfathomably cruel for the sake of my own benefit?
Yeah.
He's powdering the horn and snorting it.
Yes. We can ask my sister if they have Huga. How late is it, PP?
It's pretty late.
Yeah, we can get on that tomorrow. You are all, of course, welcome in my sister's home, but I'm sure she has been enjoying the company, but I understand if you're not comfortable with that.
We'll meet together in the morning.
You cannot see the sadness behind the mask.
Yeah, Alex is getting used to that, not being able to read people.
Oh, jeez. You too, Glor, Leica?
What?
You're going to go to the inn.
Perch.
I mean, we're in the inn right now.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I thought we were still at a crossroads in the town.
Yeah.
As I said, like, you guys were going in different, like, you crossed paths on the way there. You hadn't arrived at the inn yet.
Yeah.
Gore's gonna stay till they don't want to stay, but I'm staying.
And you're welcome to, as are you. Gwen, I'm sure my sister will not have any issue with that, but I know, I will need to introduce you. So, that's the plan then?
Meet up at the library in the morning?
Yes. I will make a stop at the, I'll probably make a stop at the church, at the temple, and see if I can't. God, it's insane that I'm even entertaining the possibility of speaking to Minerva. What, if we hadn't talked directly to Mars, I wouldn't even have any thought of it. Alright, well, you all get safe and rested, alright? Leica, Alex.
Mhm.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. Advance the scene.
Okay. Away we go. Unless Leica has anything else she'd like to do.
Leica looks back to the brewery and sort of
Oh, is everything
gears
all
are
right?
grinding.
Yeah, is everything all right, Leica? You're are you thirsty?
She has done that after you've left.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'm sorry, you have distrust of her and she has distrust of you.
Fair. That is fair.
So,
Mutual bonds of
since
distrust.
people are heading out, Gore would go, alright, so we're heading back then.
And to be honest, all you're giving like is more and more reasons to not trust you.
Why?
Well, anytime like you are very quick to shoot down like his ideas.
As it does.
So in character, you're not giving her much to work with.
Alright. To our in slash
All right.
places of rest.
So you go, you bring Gwen to the university, and immediately meet some resistance from the
Yes.
soldiers to guard the place.
Yes. The High Philosopher has assigned her to me to be my guide while I am here. And
They'll
I
accept
am
that and
also.
let you pass, but there's a lot of skepticism.
I am also one of the
keep going
people who
here.
rode the Adonta Tyrantus down.
Not a Tyrannus. There's no Tyrannus. It's not gonna.
What?
He's not gonna show up. Tyrannus is not gonna show up.
No. I'm one of his name is Immense Ali, by the way.
Monumental is he
Indeed.
hungry about.
Where were those lyrics we came up with? Damn it.
I think Raven did it.
Hungry
Excuse me.
is big.
I think it's posted in the
Yeah,
other room
I
someplace.
think you like sang it out one time, and I told you to write it down.
Yeah, it is a joke. Oh,
But yeah.
Beatrice.
She opens the door. Yeah. Oh.
This is Gwen.
She again gives a little nervous wave.
She is going. If you are all right with it, she is going to be staying with us for the night.
Beatrice sort of blinks in surprise and is like, "Yeah, sure, come on in. I don't know if the furniture is to your liking, but easily remedied, I suppose." And comes in.
Similar thing.
The door goes. Like fucking Kramer. Yeah, perfect. And to spare me having to talk to two characters at once, you explain things to Beatrice well enough, and she's
Is
very
she
open to
cool?
the idea of training Gwen, although she brings up the fact that, like, this is gonna be somewhat dangerous in the town of Minervans for both of you.
Yeah.
But not
Which is
if
why
I
I,
do discreetly.
yeah, I make it clear that like I'm gonna be doing it discreetly until we can start moving shit along.
All right.
How is Gwen take to being here?
She's incredibly nervous, but you and Beatrice, and also just Gore happily taking the hospitality that was offered in abundance, do eventually put her at a certain level of ease. And when you do get to talk about magic with her, it's a very lively conversation. Beatrice immediately sees what you saw in Gwen, and points out her library to the girl and helps her, gets her to her studies, and begins scheming of ways to help cover up this little plan that you're hatching.
Good.
As Beatrice may not be a high philosopher, but that doesn't mean she's not clever.
Yeah.
And we are now officially in an interlude scene split between two different resting places. You may now forge a new bond or add to an existing bond. And if there are any bonds you would like to change one emotion to another in a lateral move, that is also fine.
Well, I have to make a bond with Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be admiration, I think, because it's gonna be admiration. Oh yeah, I have one with the high phosphor of mistrust.
You can change it to hatred.
Can I?
I'll allow it.
I don't think that's okay. Hell yeah.
Functionally doesn't change anything mechanically. It's just
a lateral move.
Yeah.
It's a lateral move. It's just you're just flavoring it different. Like my house rule is that since that's a lateral move, I'm not going to make that take your bond creation bit here.
I know what I can do.
Cool.
I'm going to remove my mistrust of Janus.
Aww.
It has been long enough.
Yeah. So we can do like lateral moves freely, but making something new is takes
Only
up.
get one of those.
Yeah. Okay. So adding a new one with Gwen. Change the one from mistrust to hatred. Let's see. Go on, restriction, loyalty. Oh, excuse me. I think that's it for me.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't know what to change or add.
That's fine.
Sometimes.
Since previously, I already maxed out my bond with Alex.
Do you have a bond with a normal?
I do have a bond with him. It's all yes.
Oh. Do you have a bond with your grandpa?
I have yes, distrust.
Do you have a bond with Virgil?
Admiration.
Where did you get all these?
Previous sessions.
Yeah, previous sessions, previous interludes.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got one for Puck, Teresia, the Mayor, Ollie, the Jester's Jade, Virgil. It's on top of you guys.
Yeah, so alright, here's all of Lyca's bonds. Teresia's affection, Ozymandias distrust, Puck loyal, 14 affection, Immense Ali affection, Virgil admiration, Red Rabbit.
You haven't had a 14 out in a while.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Do you only have one character? Because you can have up to 3.
I know. For the mainline characters, I have Cassidy's affection, family. I have 2 with the family. Gore, I have loyalty and affection. Alex, I have affection, loyalty, admiration.
And for me, you have mistrust.
I mean, you have mistrust too.
Yeah, I do. I'm not. I it is totally fair.
What, you can add hatred there? You, like,
Just full on fucking Anakin
Have a mix of
Skywalker.
positive and negative bonds.
No,
yeah,
I
but I don't
know.
think I've had much interactions with Janice to give me affection, hatred, admiration, or loyalty yet.
Mhm.
That's fair. I know. I wasn't like actually questioning you. I was just playing around.
Like, I don't think we've had like good interactions to solidify the relationship yet.
Yeah.
And so far it's been constant, like, no, we can't do this, can't do this, to like is, which makes it feel like more of a funny dead, like the bad part of a parent.
Ow.
Like, left side of parents that are just constantly, you can't do this ever. Remember, like is like 21.
You're not my mom.
We are roughly the same age. I think I'm a little older. Although what that means with being two people.
When you're 21, though, you're still in that period where a person who's like 4 years older feels like they're a generation apart from you.
Yeah.
When you're in your
Yeah.
in your teens or 20s, 1 year feels like they're like a decade ahead of you.
It's not until you're towards your 30s where you're like, wait a minute, a lot of this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your 30s, then you're like, I don't trust anyone younger than 25.
But yeah, their relationship needs to develop still.
You don't have to add a bond if you don't want to.
But we can't like save it for like a rainy day.
Unfortunately.
No. I mean, you did do one with Alex, so that was one, wasn't it?
That was a result of a character building scene.
A little special interaction.
Yeah, because I helped him learn fighting.
Hey, you could make a second-hand one with a high philosopher of hatred.
Like, I've not met the guy in person, so she only knows of him in passing.
That's right.
Not good.
To put the entire town of the Nervans, which is this is like, I think Leica so far out of all the towns she's been to, she loves this one the most.
I see why, honestly. Janice can see why, because this
It is a
corruption
town
like,
built on hypocrisy and lies.
yeah, this place's corruption is like trying to be under the surface.
As opposed to
And
like
it's,
Junotonia, which is just outright suffering.
Yeah.
It-
I think Janice is right there with you. That's why she's so hard on like, oh, I gotta fucking change this.
Don't worry, guys.
And
There'll be
Leica
more
is-
contemptible towns in the future.
and Leica has a fundamental disagreement on how.
Alrighty then.
But anyone else got bonds they're making?
I've done mine.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So Leica takes a swing. It's like, so Alex, if you ever, met someone you like,
I'm sorry. Reiterate.
Leica was asking, in a drunken conversation, like, you ever met someone you like?
You ever miss somebody you like?
Met.
You ever met someone you liked?
Yes.
As in, are you asking Alex like romantic question, or is this an expression of like I was like I hate everybody and everything?
Like it could be either or. It's how Alex wants to interpret it.
Oh boy, he's great at interpreting people. It's not like he's like.
That's what makes it fun.
It's not. Like, I'm not even gonna roll. He's just gonna choose to interpret. It's like.
It's not like this question alone has shown how bad he is at it.
It's like you think this boy who's been growing up on a farm with a witch has any social skills?
And you think this caveat with mommy and daddy issues ran away from home hasn't either?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's just like, well, I've liked plenty of people we've met in our travels.
Tiresias really liked you.
Hmm?
Tiresias really liked you.
Is that the girl who like hit on me?
Yeah. And then almost had a one night stand with like it too.
Oh. It's like, oh, no, not that kind of like. I mean, I to be honest, I have so much on my plate that's like the last thing in my mind. But I mean, I like you. I like Hastia, Gorb, Janice, even. I like Immense Ali. I mean, Mr. Scary Shanks back in the Fairy Woods. Robin Goodfellow. I even have a soft spot for the Jester's Tape.
Oh, yeah, they were rad. Ugh. They just have little town makes me know. This old town makes me don't want to trust anyone.
Sorry about that. Sooner we deal with this business, the sooner we can get it out.
You really think making a monster is gonna fix anything? Met lots of nice talkative monsters.
I mean, like, yeah, it's what you said earlier was true. You can't change how things are set up overnight, but I mean, baby steps, right? You gotta start somewhere. And if you don't start at some point and you don't keep at it, then nothing's just gonna happen.
From what I've seen, it's usually not baby steps. It's more that tension builds and builds and builds until something snaps, and then it shifts forward.
Well, I like to think that this country, that all nations of Midgheim have gone through enough turmoil in these last few years. I'm not going to pretend that, it's going to be easy. It's not, but someone's got to do it.
Honestly, I think things are going to be quite ugly if they're going to get better for things to work.
Yeah, but
I don't think we've hit rock bottom yet. That's the scary thing.
Well, nothing lasts forever, not even pain. We'll get through that. We all will.
May as well we complete this tender moment. Well, congrats! You slept, you rest up, all your HP, IP, and MP are restored. That's the start of another day. I'm not gonna bother with I want to get into it. We got about 1 hour left, and I want to get right into the bullshit. So, with all of your plans sort of in place, you are given access to the university's store of components for Chimera creation.
All right.
They have samples of body tissue from various creatures, both mundane and arcane. Chimera needs 10 component pieces.
Oh.
The more potent those pieces are, the more magical the chimera will be. The more of those pieces that part of the chimera has, the more prominent it will be. So, for example, a griffin, if we were making a griffin with this mechanic, you would have 5 pieces of a lion and 5 pieces of an eagle, right? Because it's about half and half. Whereas, some creatures might favor one or more, and then, when you have multiple animals mixing in, a whole bunch of things. Like, there are some griffins that have horse ears, so they would have, like, 1 piece of horse, and then 4 eagle and 5 lion, or 4 lion and 5 eagle left over, and stuff like that. For, like, that little tiny touch. The more
This really is Monster Factory.
The more potent the component pieces are, the more difficult getting them to blend is going to be. And likewise, the more different the component pieces are in terms of physiology, that might add some wrinkles as well. Like if you're trying to mix all the different varieties of creature on here, that might add some difficulty to an already difficult spell. These are all the components I picked out ahead of time. If there's something that you saw on the Midgehheim Bestiary list that you would like, tell it to me, and I'll see if I can, if I think they'd have it, and 2, what I think it would be and what it would cost. Some components might have hidden effects that are not listed here. Some might work better with others than others. It's a bit of trial and error. None of you are experienced chimera crafters. So go ahead and have some fun. And while you look over the list, I'm going to read for our readers, our viewers at home, what we've got on here. They have Great Dragon shed skins from the Great Dragons, which are a type of greater drake. The Great Red, the Great Black, the Great White, etc., etc. These are low potency dragon components, and fairly common ones, because Great Dragons are some of the most common variety of dragons in Midgehheim. Some Fateful Worm Venom Gland, which are of the legless serpentine variety of dragon. We've got blood from the Medean amphitheres. These are the amphitheres that were bred by the Great Witch Medea back in the times of antiquity. There's 1 Dracontite gem from a Scourge Dragon. That's going to be a very useful component, but also very expensive. You got Basilisk Fangs, a Hugga Tongue, the shed skin of an Amphisbaena, the horns of a Cerastus, which is a snake that has big horns that can move on its skull. We've got a Dipsa Venom Gland, the hide of an Athank, which is a giant arcane crocodile, eggshell of an Aspidishalome, which is the very fast predatory sea turtles that live in Midgehheim. We've got some unicorn hair, as well as some suspect unicorn hair.
We gotta use it.
We've got Catoblepas fur, the pelt of a Barghest, which is an arcane wolf, Cathaneg hide, which is, arcane panthers, lions, tigers, etc. The skull of a Diomedian mare, which is a horse skull with oddly sharp teeth. We have the tusks of a Sithonic boar. We have ivory from some Olifants, which are arcane elephants. We have vertebrae from camelopards, which are arcane giraffes. Lucrota teeth, arcane hyenas. Lubolf blood, arcane hippos. And Bonacon hooves, which are magic being or fire shitting cows, which it's really hard to tell which one you're getting when you're just looking at the hooves. We have a plentiful supply of phoenix ashes, or phoenix ashes, I should pronounce it correctly. The eggshell of a rock, the wing feathers of a rock, the skulls of a strig, which is a large blood-sucking owl, some feathers of Stymphalian birds, tusks of a sea boar, a hide of a Syrian crane, which is a type of big eel, 2 crab. And then also there are ants, bees, spiders, owls, eagles, hawks, vultures, crows, chickens, adders, pythons, cats, dogs, deer, sheep, cows, pigs, goats, and trout, all usable as mundane animals to mix in the Chimera.
Oh, yeah, also, gang, I have
Alright.
5,000 gold from that philosopher who thinks I'm going to be putting on the forum.
All right.
We're definitely going for the Scourge Dragon type, right?
The Dragonite, the Dracontite gem.
The Dracontite. Also
I
known
would
as the
say,
Thor thimble.
Hey, and the Huga tongue, right?
That's just one piece. We need 10 in total.
Yeah,
2 pieces. the
yeah.
Dragon type
You
gem
need
and
the-
Huga.
And the more pieces we add of a particular creature, the more of that creature it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
feel like
looking at the ritual spell component right now. It's the area of this is individual, but I will be modifying the difficulty of this and the MP cost based on how many different and how different the different components are. You know, in Myrmekalian terms, that's technically an only 2 animal chimera, but ants and lions are so different that the difficulty of making them blend becomes harsh. Now, a Huga and a dragon, very similar, so that may not be that hard to mix, but that also depends on what else you're mixing with there.
yeah. That's why. Yeah, and we want Huga for hopefully the
That
what
weird
is it
breath
called,
they have.
Suki?
They have like a sticky gum.
Yeah, is there a name for it?
Let me check if I gave it one in the Midgeheiim entries right now because I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Yeah, we want the gum breath.
Let's look at the serpent's overview. Let's see what says that.
Technically, we already have a behemoth fur.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have 1 part behemoth.
Well, I think we
Yeah.
have more than one
Yeah,
part.
one
You really
part
only need-
behemoth.
You don't really need 9 components left.
Yeah.
There's not an official name for it. I would call it like gummy venom or something like that.
Okay.
I was gonna say we.
With that,
Because it's made by the same venom glands that make dragon fire. They've just made a different chemical cocktail this time.
so theoretically, combining that a Huga tongue with a Dracontite gem could give us the gummy venom.
A very potent version of it.
If you've got a Huga tongue in there, the gummy venom is very likely going to
Awesome.
develop.
How does that
And
sound,
then
gang?
The Dragon type gem with
Hey.
it will make it.
Yeah, this should hopefully make it very potent.
I was thinking maybe like 5 parts behemoth, since we have plenty of behemoth material. That gives us stability and a lot of strength.
I don't know. We have hair. Can we add? Like, I think we need like. Can it work like that, TT? Like just 5 parts
Yeah.
of just behemoth hair?
Like I'll be like if I were making a griffin with this system, the way I would do it is 5 parts lion, 5 part griffin. They don't have to be the same parts of lions and griffins, just 5 lion components, 5 eagle components. So if you did get as many MF components as you can get and fill them up, that would make a very strong behemoth.
You know what I'm hoping this thing will turn out looking like, since we're using so much Adanto and so much Huga.
What?
Hugas are the ones that are kind of shaped like Beanie Babies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm picturing in my head already now this colossal hill of a monster, and it's just got the tiniest little wings.
Well, okay.
I have a.
So you only have 1 component's worth of Odontotyrannus hair. though.
Yeah, we have plenty
Um,
of fur, but that's still only 1 component.
Okay.
You have
Yeah.
1 component's worth. Catobla passes are technically a variety of behemoth. They're a
Yeah.
domesticated variety. So you
okay.
could just buy a bunch of Catobla pass fur to mix with it. And unicorns,
Also have
whatever a
alicorn.
suspect unicorn would be, are also in the behemoth family, even if they're a bit
Can
more
like a
distant.
roll to identify the unicorn for their background?
The
Can I
suspect
help?
unicorn hair?
The suspect unicorn head.
Yeah. Can I help her?
Which is a difficulty of 16 to parse.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
jeez.
Double insight.
Can I
difficulty
use a
of
Chimera's
16.
ritual since I have ritual Chimera's?
That's the cast
No.
spell.
No, you can't. Not for this. This is an insight check.
How does aiding work?
You have to succeed on a
basically
10.
she can avoid. Oh yeah, if you're making a group check, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to help,
think
like,
It'd be best if we all try to figure this out before we use it.
Oh dear.
I have a good insight.
So do I.
Mine is a D10.
Like, yeah, I think yours is higher than mine because I think it's
Yeah,
like
I
yours
have
is
a
also.
pure caster, so
Yeah, my dex is a D10 and my insight's a D8. So
then you have to beat a 10 to aid somebody.
I think so. According, if I remember off the top of my head.
Sorry, I have to go over. It'll be all right.
1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh boy. Is a failure like lessen the roll, or is it just a failure?
This is something I should probably be looking up in the book.
Or God could tell us
God, we'll probably have to look it up too.
potentially.
What's the question?
How does helping work?
I just explained. You're either doing a group check or they can invoke a bond.
Right.
Okay.
If you're doing a group check, you nominate someone leader. Everyone else has a difficulty of 10 on the check. If they succeed, they add, I think, 2 to the roll or 1 to the roll. I think it might just be 1
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
one.
of the leader.
Okay.
I have it here.
That's how a group check works.
Okay.
Alternatively, if a character is making a roll on their own, they can invoke their bond and add the total of their bond for that character, so 1 to 3, as a bonus to their roll. Those are the 2 ways it works.
Okay. What do we want to do, gang? Do we want to try going individually and potentially using our bonds? Or do we want to roll as a group?
Let's see. Nominate leader. Each supporting character does a fixed difficulty 10.
Yeah.
Each one who succeeds gives a +1 bonus.
Which, like,
If any of the successful supporting casts have a bond towards the leader, the highest strength among those bonds is added to the leader's check. Remember, only add the single highest, and then the leader makes the final check. Yeah, we could gamble it. Spend some Fabio points.
yes?
Sorry, I had a mouth emergency. I'm back. Hello?
Yes,
Hello.
we were just.
So Callie came in.
Alright, so did we roll for the...
No, because we were figuring out how we want to do it.
Alright, so my proposal is Hugatung, Drakentite, 2 Kraken Eyes.
Kraken eyes, you say?
Yeah, because, Krakens... And assume that Krakens also inject ink, which, if we mix that in with the Scourge Drakentite, which would make that more potent, plus the stickiness of venom.
We want to figure out what the fur is.
Yeah.
So let's...
You can do a group check, or you can have an individual do a check and invoke some bonds. That's basically how it works.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to decide.
Well, if you said the difficulty was like a 16,
That difficulty is 16.
yeah,
Double insight.
which means even if you rolled like double,
If I roll double 10s, it's a 20. I have 2d10s. I would need theoretically to get at minimum 2 8s, which is still, higher than half for both. But with you guys helping, it could theoretically lessen some of that pressure on that roll. And I do have... How many family points do I have?
Because, according to the group check, we could still add, like, the strength of a bond to, the normal
Group
plus
check.
1 bonus on a success, so... It seems we can get more by doing a group check.
Yeah.
Then check away, my group.
Yes,
Alright,
you guys gotta-
designate
gotta-
you as the leader, and each of us must roll a,
Insight.
insight.
I'm just gonna use inspect.
Yes.
Oh,
Hold on, wait.
You knew what you were
Hi,
getting into.
whoa!
You got a +1.
Spending a fabulous point on that one because I did not like that one.
Fair.
That's fair. What the?
That's unfortunate.
Alright. Insight.
You roll 20.
Fuck you, roll 20. It happened to me last session. Okay, 11 plus... How much do I get from you, Alex?
1.
And from those who succeed, you also add the bonus, the strength of the bond.
What's our bond
So
strength? Like, from my end or your end?
I have 3 bonds with you.
Yeah, I think I have 2 or 3.
It would be
too.
from your end.
From my
Yeah.
end, so that is 2. So I get like a plus
So
3.
you're at 14.
14. Okay.
14.
How did I roll?
So-
8 and a 3. Ooh, I could reroll
I,
that
You
3.
can invoke a fabula point you can invoke a trait to re-roll that 3.
I was gonna say, could I invoke a fabulous point to reroll my crappy one?
Absolutely, go ahead.
We're trying so hard. We want to know what this shit is so we can do
I'm
things.
just
with it.
checking. Is a 6? Why are these a 6?
I'm just enjoying having a skill check be difficult.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. This is very hard.
I think that's right.
I can still invoke my fabula point, but I want to see how Raven does first.
Oh my god, I actually got over the hump, I think.
Did you get to 10?
Hang on, I gotta
Yeah.
find the fucking roll.
That's
Yes,
a
you-
6 and a 4. So that's a
Then-
success. Plus
Really?
1.
Barely.
I only have one
You're at
bond
15.
before?
You're
So
at
that's
15.
That's a 16! Right? Because wait,
No, you're at
15.
15.
Wasn't it
You
plus 1 versus... Isn't it plus 1
Oh,
for
because you have a
success,
bond of
and
4.
then-
That's right. Yeah, that's 16.
Yeah, that's a 16!
All right. Okay.
Woo!
You identify this fur as belonging not to a unicorn, but to its related, cousin, the Yale, which looks very similar to which is to a unicorn what a donkey is to a horse, really. It has 2 horns. Sometimes they're even flexible. Where unicorns tend to be bright, pristine colors like pastels or really, really saturated colors. Yales tend to be gray or maybe brown. They look dirty. They've got prominent underbites of tusks and just real surly temperaments. And they're noted for generally being more aggressive, more grumpy, less intelligent, and less magically potent than unicorns are.
Well, dang.
Shitty unicorns, if you will. So this suspect unicorn hair, technically, it's basically like,
Discount unicorn.
worse unicorn hair.
Well,
It's gonna be like unicorn hair, but worse
yeah.
for all the things you would want it to be used for.
Oh, that.
Well, it's good.
I'm glad we. Yeah, it's good we figured it out. But also, damn, I was hoping it was something funky, like in a good
Like
way.
I would say, it like now that you've identified it, I'm gonna just let you know up front, it's low potency.
Okay.
Well, it's good to know what that was.
Yeah, because we were all drawn to it.
Of course.
Um,
it's,
okay.
it is
once
the,
we find out, like, this isn't unicorn. This isn't unicorn hair. This is what's it called? Yeah, this is
Yale.
Yale hair.
Yeah, I much prefer Harvard, says one student in the library before they leave.
I say iceberg.
So is there any reason to take low potency like Great Dragon Scales?
'Cause it would be
if they're low
weird.
potency, it fills out the components, and gives you some quality of that creature, just less so in the high potency, and makes the resulting spell you're casting easier to pull off.
Yeah.
Because
Because
like,
we're gonna
if you
have-
look at that, if you max out the potency of this, it's going to cost 50 MP, and it's going to have a difficulty of 16 to be successful. And if you
Yeah.
fail the difficulty check, all the materials used will be wasted, and you'll create a botched chimera.
Oh no.
So you'll have a little Cronenberg, or rather a large Cronenberg, to deal with.
Yeah, and we won't have the Dracontite gem, or the Gugatong. That will
Or
be
the
gone.
Behemoth hair.
Well, that's as simple as going and cutting somewhere.
Until Ali starts taking offense.
Yeah.
You don't want to take advantage of Ali.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got some like
We've got some.
there's
potent
some
stuff
gas
here.
in this thing.
Yeah, the Hugatong, the Dracontite gem, those are both reptilian, so there's some synergy there.
Tomaltas and Odonto get along, like they're the same species, so same as the unicorn.
Yeah. And the shed skin is low potency, but it would blend with the dragon nicely.
Oh
So it would
yes.
be- That's
I also suggested to Kraken Eye so we can get some size and breath weapon potency, maybe.
the concern there is we have a lot of high potency in here,
it-
and Kraken eyes are
Hold on,
extreme
let's do them.
potency.
my concern is it's such a greatly divergent animal that might
Very
increase
different.
the difficulty. It's not a bad
Yeah.
idea. I'm just saying, be aware that's what's
We need to be
Uh,
prepared. For the
Do all the
consequences.
math first. So what all things we have so far?
Yeah, let's get that
Buddha
map
is high. Odonto Tyrannus is high.
the gem was high.
Gem is extreme.
Yeah, that's level 4.
So
Alright, so that's 3 plus 3 plus 5. Remember, the extreme spell is 51 or higher.
I have a good chunk of MP for I can at least not necessarily cast the spell myself, but to
I have plenty of,
contribute and helping because I have
I have
MP.
plenty of magic. Gora's a mana tank. Just remember.
Yeah, I've got 70. So yeah, let's see, hookah tail, hookah tongue, okay, not hide.
High is high. It's high.
Oh, hi. Oh, I misread. High, extreme. The Kraken eyes are both extreme. Would
Yep.
the Kraken eyes be like extreme by one or extreme by like two extremes?
Two, I'm guessing 2 extreme because it says why else we have 2.
Because it would. Because like theoretically, I could buy a Dragon hide doesn't have TT.
Sorry, what?
TT.
Alright,
Is it-
so far
are
we're
the-
supposed to 5.
You guys start debating things for like 10 solid minutes. TT, what are you thinking? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The Kraken eye. Is that two separate, both extreme?
You can
or
buy
do they count?
one Kraken eye counts as one component. So if you buy both of them, they're
Okay.
taking 2 component slots. You also have to pay the
And they-
price twice.
Yeah. Okay. So both of those would both count as extreme
Yeah.
on their own. So do we want to? And they're pretty different to Dragon and
Yes, but remember, with the
Behemoth.
current 5 we have right now with items listed is only 21. We're at a medium of 0.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
We're at the low end of medium.
Maybe we should just cram the rest of this with sheep and make this the wooliest beast.
Let's
Just
see.
a giant.
I will say
Mounter.
this. Step 2 of this is you guys have to figure out what the mix is going to be, like visually.
Yeah. What's a Dipsa? What was a Dipsa, TT?
A Dipsa is the most venomous serpent family of Midgahheim, matched only by basilisks, and it's honestly anyone's guess which one is worse in terms of terrible venom. Like, it is said
We
that a
don't want-
drop of Dipsa venom can poison a field for, like, generations.
Okay, so we don't want that one.
Yeah, we don't want them melting to death as they are covered
Yeah.
in glue.
Dipsa venom is extremely lethal.
Okay,
How about
What is
some-
the-
Really, we need to create. We need to come back here later and create the worst war machine known to man.
Alright, how about some amphitheater blood?
I was gonna ask, yeah, what would amphitheater blood do theoretically?
Probably
Like, is there-
poisonous.
So blood and bones are really potent ingredients in chimera crafting because of the relation blood and bones have with ectoplasm. So when you have the blood of a creature involved in a thing, it's going to be very potent, and that thing's presence is going to be very palpable. And since this is from a dragon, and specifically, it's Median amphitheaters, which were bred by Medea, or so they say, in the times of antiquity, and are associated with witchcraft and helping out human spellcasters. It would make for like a very powerful, magic-resistant, and intelligent and reasonable dragon influence.
So
Let's do that.
Amphisbena,
Let's get
then.
Yeah,
amphitheater.
all that,
Amphitheater.
all that
What about their
sounds-
skin? Is there any properties to that, or like does amphitheater skin, like shed skin? Is there anything special there, or is that just shed skin?
Well, you don't have amphitheater
I mean,
or
not-
blood. The shed skin
Amphisbena,
that
I
you
mean.
have. Oh, Amphisbena. So Amphisbena's skin will give you some of the armor property, like some of the scales of an amphitheater, or Amphisbena. The other thing is Amphisbenas all have Girion syndrome.
Oh.
2
You
heads.
know, they have 2 torsos growing from the same pelvis.
Okay, they made it.
Depending on the speed, that may be unnoticeable. In which case, it just looks like 2
Then I
snakes
don't
who
know
are
if we want
merged at
that.
the tail
That could
tip.
be.
Yeah, no.
That could make a very weird looking monster.
What's a
could.
Lubol?
Lubulf is an
Oh.
arcane hippo.
Is that's not a relative of Leviathans, is it?
No,
I mean,
hippos
behemoth.
are hippos.
I mean,
No,
is that
no,
a relative?
behemoths are in a category of their own within the kingdom of Mammalia.
Okay.
Leviathans are fish, right?
Yes, as are seaboars.
So,
All these things are listed by their anotype here.
Yeah,
that's how I'm looking at fish. So Leviathans are fish, so a seaboar is a Leviathan.
yeah. We're
Yeah,
It's
okay.
most of our
Leviathan,
pieces.
what Catobal passes are to behemoths.
We
Most
should
of our
get to that
pieces
in-
are from reptiles and beasts. We should probably keep it within there.
We also
Yeah,
have
the-
Kraken eyes.
The Kraken eyes are invertebrates, so they're not fish either. So that's a
What
one
would
thing
the Kraken eyes
outside.
rhetorically give us?
So, Krakens are among the most intelligent, powerful, and reputedly vicious sea monsters out there. They're wickedly smart. They have all the benefits of being an octopus or a squid. Just, you know, bigger and magic.
So
And because they're incredibly powerful and incredibly intelligent sea monsters, if you include that, you not only have a creature that has a great affinity for water magic, and probably is very skilled at being in the water, but also would have a very clever mind. Also, it would likely be very willful, like a kraken is. It might have ink because krakens do have ink. It might have tentacles and a horrifying beak. It might have the ability to alter its color, like cuttlefish do. It might have bioluminescent lures because that's a thing some krakens have. A lot of weird things could happen from those kind of eyes.
So
I will
sticking with the
note
crown,
that one of the
There's
most famous chimeras of antiquity was the Cetus or Catus, which was a mixture of dragon and kraken. And it was something that Perseus had to slay Medusa and bring her head back just so he could have a chance of killing it.
I'm sticking with Kraken eyes because we want this thing to be intelligent.
but yeah, we do because we want it to. We want it to be,
Vampire
We want it to be able to-
give this thing the most, for Leica's case, the best possible chance at learning how to cast magic itself.
Let's just
Okay,
hope
that's
as soon as we
something to-
gift it intelligence that it decides, why am I listening to you?
Yeah, that is something to
I mean,
worry.
We must
about.
show it love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have dragon in it. A lot of dragon, which we want because that,
It's like,
intelligent, strong creature.
remember
But,
the,
if we're not careful, it could get. What?
I was gonna say the
Yeah,
Kraken.
if you're not careful in how you're designing these chimeras, they could rise up against you.
I was gonna say,
Hey,
remember
hey.
the Kraken. The Kraken bit had some malevolence attached to it, just to be aware.
Yeah. There's
Alleged
some-
malevolence, mind you.
Maybe if we just raise it right, it will love us and hate everybody else.
I think Kraken eyes are definitely a good thing to have in here because that's intel. It's not. I don't think it's enough, on its own to be. Huge
Now, if we
problem.
kept cramming in Kraken parts,
Yeah,
but we only have 2 bits.
I think we should add some more stuff that's more on the not docile, friendly
Low end.
end to hope to pair with the Huga better. Of these reptile parts, TT,
Mm-hmm.
besides the Huga, who are the more friendly of creatures?
The Huga.
Oh,
Huga
fuck.
and the Median Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
Like,
Yeah, good. good.
Scourge dragons are the dragons that wake up once every 100 years and devastate an ecosystem before sleeping for another 100 years.
Same with the
Um,
Tyrannus.
Yeah.
Same with the Kraken.
Yeah,
Great
come to think of it.
dragons are excellent for the ecosystems they're in, but said ecosystems tend to become very hostile to humans in that all the animals and plant life are way more burly. Fateful worms include the family of the Lambton worm. They're big, venomous, sometimes remarkably good at healing. Basilisks are notorious loners. Amphisbaenas, they're big, not really different from any real world mundane big reptiles in terms of behavior. Cerastises are big snakes. Dipses are big venomous snakes, which means that they're really, really tightly wound. Aphangs are gigantic crocodiles, and Aspidishallones are giant flesh-eating sea turtles.
Yeah, it occurs to me.
To specifically try to break, Aspidishallones are notorious for not only attacking ships on sight, but also specifically luring ships in to, by pretending to be islands to get close and then break them and eat the sailors, because sailors
It
chase
occurred to
ships.
me that we have a lot of man-eater in this
Yeah.
thing. Maybe we had some domestic
You
animals.
know what? There's a horse skull. You could throw that in there. Get that Diomedian mare in there.
Okay,
Okay, what kind of lizards do we have? Adders, pythons. Oh my god. Fuck.
Maybe we should tone down the
I mean,
beast.
remember,
We've made him too powerful.
Chimera baiting isn't about chimera. It's about making a vicious chimera that's hard to kill.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Gwen. Do you know anywhere in town, maybe any other chimera who would have maybe more Huga parts? Or
I mean, there's probably more than one Huga part we have here.
Oh, you can, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. If I didn't list a limit to the number of parts, you can get as many as you can afford.
So yeah,
oh shit,
we
then
could,
do we
like,
want to
fill
add more
up-
Huga then?
So yeah, we could like get more Huga or just fill up with fucking Midian Amphitheater blood.
Can we get Huga bone?
No, if it's the parts that are listed here.
So,
Okay, so we just get
I'll
multiple
say,
tongues.
How about we get 2 bloods? I mean, 2 Huga tongues and 2 Amphitheater bloods.
Those are both from more pleasant creatures, and we are hopefully going to have. Want this to be not, a push up. We want it to be amenable to friendship.
All right, we're at 30. We have 2 more slots.
Is that with the Huga
Yes.
and
We're at 30.
the amphitheater?
So we have
Well, are
2 more
we-
slots to go, and that would just be major.
Do we just want to
Um,
throw in some mundane animals?
What is a siren? What is a siren croin?
It's a big, goofy-looking sea serpent eel.
Ooh, what's
I've,
it
I've
for
got a
nothing?
picture of one. Well, most sea monsters don't have the best reputation. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. Sailors have all sorts of problems. There have been some stories of Syrian croins that were more or less domesticated.
Ooh.
Let me see. Here's our goofy little goober.
I'm trying to remember which Leviathan was in campaign 1. Was that a Searing Croin?
The Jasconius was the Leviathan in campaign 1, but they did
Okay,
meet
yeah.
a Syrian croin.
Right.
It was the one that just wanted fish to battle at one point.
Right. And I remember that was still very tense because this is a huge animal that now expects to be fed.
Mm-hmm.
but it's also another like major potent magical creature that's like rept. Well, it's eel based, but
Yeah, I don't think that would
I
mesh.
think it would still it would pair well and help tie like the Kraken more into the Dragon more.
They're pretty.
Dragons
What's up
are
with that?
masters of all elements.
Yeah. Would something like that work, TT? Like something not necessarily, on paper the same, but more thematically similar, I guess would be the.
If
Wait,
if
I-
you're getting the elements to gel very well, that can help.
Okay.
So if we get a Syrian coin, no matter what option we choose, we will still be a major potency. So our difficulty will be 13 because it's not extreme. So whatever we choose next, it
Well,
can be
our last
extreme, it
one-
can be high, it can be whatever.
Our last one should definitely be something else to mesh our parts together, I think.
Well, look at what we have. We have big hairy beast and a big friendly reptile with some
Alright.
fish thrown in.
Blue balls are
I'm gonna-
weird giant
I'm gonna-
hippos.
Go ahead and give you guys an edible link of this doc so you can put your plan in there.
Yay!
Yeah, here's what my
Wait, what's the gold cost for all this?
That's
Yeah,
listed.
the money's there in the document.
No, I mean
Yeah,
for us.
I haven't listed it yet, but I will.
Well, I mean, again, it's listed. If you're
I know,
using a
I
Great
know.
Dragon Shedskin.
I'm asking how much we are spending right now altogether.
All right, so
I see the prices. I'm just asking, what are we at now?
hold on,
Hector,
I'm
'cause I have-
posting to the toss.
I have 5,000 gold from.
Leica has almost 6,000.
Jesus Christ! Have you never spent money?
No, like she tries to see something. It's like, I don't see anything that's worth getting rid of my like all the equipment. Is like, since we can't stack equipment, like Leica hasn't really seen a
That is
need.
true. That is true. I need to buy some stuff here, but things have had happening.
All right, so it's
Time to crunch some
I
numbers.
just say,
right
yeah,
now.
uh,
Let's see, we're
I have 4,000 just, laying around.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
For those of you listening at home, I do want to say this mechanic is not the canon way that Chimera crafting works. It's a simplified version of the very intricate art of creating hybrid animals. I mentioned there's actually a lot more components involved and a lot more tricky things in making them gel.
so
This
far
is a
our cost
simplified
right now,
version to
I
make a
think,
fun game mechanic.
It's 5,400.
All right, that would spend the dude's money.
Yeah.
Yes?
That has 9 pieces right there. 2,
Yep.
3, 4. Huh.
We're
What
at
happens with human added to Chimera?
You get mana cores. That's the way. You want mana cores?
So-
I mean,
I'd avoid
I
doing
want
that.
to of course, thanks.
Well, I see.
Well, if you add a human to a chimera, you're going to make a creature that has all the devious cunning and capacity for evil that a human being can have.
But also the good, right?
Sure, yeah.
See,
Okay,
look,
what about? I asked this really last session, but hear me out. Cambion.
and TT did say Cambion wouldn't really have an effect.
Oh no, it would have a
I
nasty
said,
effect.
Don't
Right, nasty effect.
don't go mixing the devil in this. It's gonna make things get fucking
That's a-
weird and not in a way you like.
Okay, if we do that, Leica's the mom of the apocalypse.
No, just like Auntie Moonchild.
Exactly.
No, that's good to know though, in case we need a indestructible war machine.
Here is what I'm going to propose to the rest of you. Janus.
No.
You want to
It's
make
already-
it human.
It is human, yeah, but it's not a ton of human. But it is a human chimera gifted in magic, specifically water and fire, which a lot of our components are. It could be like a good way to bind all of our disparate elements into one. Nothing earth really in her blood, but we have a lot of
point.
yeah.
Leica has enough identity, or not. Shit. Janice has enough identity issues as it is, and you want to make Janice into a mom, and then you're going to leave this poor beast to fend for itself here in town. It's like,
You already adopted one chimera. Are you gonna do 2?
She's got 3.
Look, listen. I have 2 chimeras for 1 TT. I have adopted Gwen.
You only have one that's got human components. Chitters
Yeah.
acts like a lion ant.
Yes, but 2. Listen, my sister really needs someone to stay with her after we're gone.
like, why did Mother leave me
Then she can hire someone. It's a
to go see Ozymandias, the great and powerful?
It's a post-war society. Plenty of people are looking for work.
Honestly, I feel like I could leave a chimera with my sister. Who currently is in need of a companion.
Can't even get in the house.
If you want to shout Tucker this, that's fine.
Can't even get in the
I'm proposing
house.
I'm proposing this to the party. I want to hear their thoughts.
I don't think I'm comfortable mixing human into this.
Okay. Micah?
We might as well just throw Hail Mary and add my blood into the mix.
Because think about it this way, it's already going to be very, very intelligent. If we add a dash of human, it might be just intelligent enough to resent us for creating it to be a
We're
weapon.
not making. Okay, I guess we are making it to sort of be a weapon, but we're not trying.
Yes, but yeah, it's not necessarily like we'll abandon it and treat it poorly. It's just it might have a chip on its shoulder, and we're making it big and
That is a
powerful.
fair point. That is a fair point.
The real final boss is not Ozymandias or whatever. It's the fucking Chimera that we created and then left.
Chimera beats up Ozymandias and
Well,
takes
we-
his city.
Okay.
It's like if
Your points are valid.
like so, you can see if Gore's ever like chimes in, she goes no, just like it's an obvious just no.
Great, Raven.
What?
Raven, you're robotic.
Too bad. Can't hear it.
But I don't normal domestic animal for affability.
Hello, am I coming
honestly-
through better now?
Now you
Yes.
Yes, you are.
I would say if you need to add one thing, another dash of Huga. One more tongue.
I'd say apathy or blood.
Either of those is good. Just let's not throw sapience
Yeah.
on it.
That,
Yeah.
or we add unicorn.
Unicorn's not a bad idea.
Unicorn does.
I was
mesh with,
suggesting some Actually, I'm kind of
Yeah.
TT. According to the 4 elemental law thing, what element is unicorn? Earth,
Unicorns
because they're related to
have
behemoths.
have a strong earth element, but they also have a strong water element, healing ability.
We were kind of seeing some water.
And given that, like
Yeah,
a few weeks
Kraken,
ago,
so
someone brought to
water-
my attention that there's a unicorn whose specific thing is the ability to cast trans your gender, I would say there's a little bit of wind magic in them as
What?
well, but
Wait, what?
We've got plenty of fire.
there is at least one specific variety of unicorn who, among its stated abilities, has spell trans your gender.
You'll have
where
to tell me
it can
about
touch
that.
you with
when
its
you play
horn
it.
and turn you to the other side of the binary than the one you were to begin with.
So I think the one thing we're missing is bone. So what would a camel leopard vertebrae add to the equation?
Well, camel leopards are giraffes.
That's
okay.
What are giraffes?
those are very
for?
different too. That is very different to everything else.
It could give it cute little horns.
So, do we need bone in this to like make a chimera, or is that
No,
like
you just need 10 components.
okay? So we don't
You
need
have it all
bone,
be
but I-
skin, and that would still, within the mechanics of this game, not necessarily in Midgard in general, but within the mechanics
Yeah.
of this game, the streamlined game I've made of creating a chimera, which is not canon to Midgard in of itself. Much of it is not canon to Midgard in of itself. It's just a game mechanic.
Oh.
As long as you have
I'm
gonna-
components, you have enough for a chimera.
So I'm gonna do
Well,
a Hail Mary.
Mhm.
Sympholian feathers. So wings and
Well,
indestructible
Sympholian
feathers.
birds are also man-eaters.
Yeah, well, so is everything else in
They're
our little.
cute.
Yeah, that-
man eaters.
I get what
Yeah,
you're
that's
saying.
very fair.
Mhm.
Come to think of it, technically because they're made of metal, wouldn't Sympholians, that's how you say it, right? Would they have earth affinity?
I bet, and wind.
Yeah. One of those
Like
rare
basilisk.
creatures that represent
They have two
both.
contracting-
I say we throw in the
contrasting
unicorn.
elements.
The unicorn fits our behemoth.
They are part
And
of
our
the behemoth
kraken.
family.
Yeah, and the water element ties it with our kraken eyes.
And our Siracoin. So
Yeah,
three
I think
waters.
that would stabilize our beast.
Yeah, that could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hugans
that could
and
be.
Amphitheaters are both are all dragons, so they all have all elements.
Yeah.
So we have
Also,
5 dragon in there.
Also, I think unicorns are good. Typically, well, actually, no, they're usually assholes, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're picky.
Unicorn are selective about the company they keep, but they're generally viewed as morally positive animals.
Okay.
You know, I guess the way to describe unicorns would be D&D paladins.
Oh God.
They're very particular, but they mean well. I think that's good.
Alright, so that's...
I think adding a little bit of unicorn would give it a strong moral compass.
Yeah. And once
Or at
we
the very least, it
you
would give it healing powers, which could be very useful.
know,
Mhm.
yeah. Healing gunk. All right, I think we've got our. I think we've got our
Unleash the
Chimera.
beast.
Let me do my calculations first.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what it all comes out to.
Crunch them numbers.
The last check we had, we only were paid
Alright, so
400 because the assholes stripping covered the rest.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's getting the. I'm using. His 5,000 is paying for our.
He is footing that bill.
The majority of it.
Hopefully, there will be time enough for a short interaction after he make rolls and whatnot.
Somebody.
yeah, we're at 5,700 for money.
That's not
Because
bad.
I've been waiting for an interaction for this scene.
As for the potencies, yeah, I think we're. Hold on, let me do that. 9 plus 5.
Honestly, get my little calculator out.
Plus 9. We're at 36.
Not bad.
No.
Let's put it all to a pot and set to 400.
Yep, 36. 36 potency, that puts us in the major, so it costs 40 MP and has a difficulty check of 13.
Can people
what's
with
horrible?
chimerist magic help contribute at all?
Absolutely. Can the Chimerists contribute to the creation of a Chimera?
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
Laika and Gore would are specialized.
I feel
I
like-
feel like
kind of
I think Chimerism is
Yeah,
what really
so-
makes sense.
so-
In which case, this would be a group check ritual spell. So you both would have to do either insight plus willpower or might plus willpower, whatever works better for you. You'd have to anoint someone as
Laika has destroying willpower.
Well, what is your insight and willpower?
Laika has a D8 in insight and a D6 in willpower. How much does Gore have?
He's got a.
No, wait. Her insight and willpower are both D8s.
Raven.
He has a D10 in willpower.
Gore's leader then.
And wait, what was your insight?
D6.
D6?
Yes.
Alright, so Gore has a D10 and D6. I have a D8 both
I mean,
ways.
he usually counts with a
I
mixture
think
of
that
might.
evens out to the same.
Yeah.
He usually counts with a mixture of might and willpower, so. Yeah.
I have
Yep, that's a lot.
I have D10s in both, but you guys know what you're doing more here.
Yeah, the thing is, you can only take part in this if chimerism rituals.
Yeah,
Both like and Gore can both do it.
Uh-huh.
It
Right.
is up to you.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, dog. They're talking dog. The dog is wanting to go to bed early. Anyways, sorry. So Gore has a what in willpower in what?
Did you repeat that?
D8 and a D6.
He has a D10 in willpower.
And,
D10.
all right, and what's his might?
His might is a D8.
Okay, so you have a D. Then you do it with might and willpower. Then so because I have a D8 both ways, and you have a D10.
Mm-hmm.
So you. Although, can I invoke my two bonds with Gore to both boost my rolls to help him?
Yeah.
So alright, so roll an insight plus willpower.
Your if you're the assistant, your difficulty is 10, and Gore's difficulty is 13. Am I correct?
That's what that's what you said.
Yes, 13.
I'm gonna burn my another fabulous point to re-roll that D8 because fucking roll 20. There we go.
Right, I'm just gonna roll my.
So
God,
that
feel
gives
funny.
Gore plus 3.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll my Chimera spell so I don't have to do the.
Yep.
Okay, so there would be
Yeah, with the plus 3, that's a success.
yeah, an 8 and a 2.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right.
Woo!
So, as you combine all these components and create a beautiful egg, here's what I want to know. And someone type this in chat.
Mm-hmm.
What are all these contributing to the physical makeup of the animal? As it looks right now, we have a creature that is like 10% behemoth, 10% unicorn. So that's
which is
one group.
20% behemoth.
20% kraken. And then 10% Syrian crine, so eel. And the remaining 50% is serpent, which is 30% dragon, 20% huga.
Just a lot of bits.
We'll have to think about that.
So,
Yeah,
before next session, I would like to know, and probably sooner rather than later, what physically these are contributing to the creature.
Like, do you want us all
Okay.
to?
Yeah, because we don't have to do one with the components we used, right?
No.
No, but like overall, resulting hybrid should reflect the percent breakdown here the same way a griffin represents 50% lion, 50% eagle.
All right.
So this should be a creature that is at least half serpent, at least 20% mammalian of the
Horse-ish.
unicorn behemoth persuasion, at least 20% kraken, and have a 10% of eel mixed in there.
Alright.
I'm weirdly imagining a draft horse style unicorn with scales, and then just displacer beast tentacles that end in eel mouths.
Well, feel free to workshop this and put pitches in this document. Is there any last character directions we'd like before we close for tonight? Because it is 11 o'clock, and even though I don't have work tomorrow, my ears are beginning to hurt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alex did want to do something.
Yes, I did. Have an interaction with... Specifically, I was waiting to do this while we were crafting the beast. Especially since we were throwing around all sorts of words like elemental affinities and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll go up to Janice, who is probably helping with the process. So you've been saying you've been saying over and over that, you're a chimera of sorts as well.
Yes.
I know that you weren't, that's something that happened to you. You weren't created this way, so I imagine our chimera isn't going to have that same confusion of identity.
Oh. Hell of a question.
Then the whole
when you ask them, they have look up. Well, they have their mask on, but they visibly like lean back and like stare into space a little bit.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, I
Typically-
don't think it's going to be alone, because, lately I've been feeling really, I've been feeling a dissonance between who I am and apparently what I am.
What do you mean? Oh, with all the stuff with your family?
Yeah,
I can understand why. I've been throwing myself into all this stuff since we got here, and it's been nice to have a problem to focus on.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
I worry,
about the Chimera.
There's, lots of things to worry about. Whether the Chimera will succeed, how this tournament will go, how everything. There's a lot on my mind, and you'll stop, think a moment. So, why don't you tell me about the whole chimera making process and like all these dragon bits we're throwing in, right? I mean, like, what are dragons fire? Are they always fire? Like,
No, dragons are actually they are aligned with all four of the elements.
okay,
Some types more towards one or the other. No, I can see you're kind of panicked. Yeah,
he's not really panicking. He's just
anxious,
anxious.
seeking some kind of distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave Gwen over.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen, I'm
Yes?
sharing with Alex here some knowledge about dragons. So if you'd like to listen.
Everybody,
Yes.
I'd like you to look in chat.
Nice to hear, creature.
Yes, dragons are one of the extreme. That is very nice. Dragons are one of the few creatures, right? That's not a very wide category, right? Creatures that are tied with all the elements.
There's only one other creature that does that routinely, and that's humans.
Yeah. Okay.
Theoretically, ogres.
CC, Alex, Gwen. There's only one other creature in Midgahheim that is proficient in all the elements. Do you know what that is?
He's giving you the look of, I came from a farm.
Yes.
Gwyn
Points a
says
finger.
humans.
Yeah, points at Gwen. Exactly. Very good, Gwen.
And as you lecture, and as the chimera comes to fruition, and at least you all feel the ground rumble a little bit under your feet, as if by a small tremor. And as you look out, you notice something has changed about the horizon of Minervans.
Oh no.
There's a Colosseum now.
Oh.
And that's where we're gonna end this session of Wake of the Red Death.
Well,
Did
yeah,
you all notice my sneaky little change of the map?
no, because it's a blank.
What?
Yeah, the map is white.
I see
Yeah,
it.
I've noticed
yeah.
it now. I reloaded the page, and now there's a
Yeah.
Coliseum.
I see it just fine.
I'm going back in.
Yep.
I saw the page blink when I was
Instant-
looking through my my stat sheet.
Instant Fortress.
Instant Fortress, just add water.
Yeah, it even fits within the old 70 limits.
Just add
Oh, yeah,
douche
damn.
nozzle.
Isn't Bowl the Owl?
No.
It's like it's an egg. In the owl's
Har, har, har.
tummy. That's how girl parts work.
God, TT, you can't say that.
Alright, good night, everybody.